try and stay alive as the Avalanche up 3-0 in this best-of-7 series.
Look at our Dodge goaltenders for tonight's game. Patrick Waugh, game number 200 in his playoff career. Patrick Waugh has been solid and strong throughout this series, 3-0. At the other end, 24-year-old Dan Cloutier. He's not an NHL rookie, but this is only his second ever playoff game. He was in goal in game 1, a 5-4 Avalanche win.
Well, Sakic has points in every game. Leads all NHL players with 19 shots on goal so far in these Stanley Cup playoffs.
The biggest thing in tonight's game is, can Vancouver do it again? Can they get that first goal of the game? In each of the first 3 games, they've got that first goal, and that has helped them. Tonight, the Avalanche want that goal.
And the men in charge, Dan Merwelli and Dean Warren. Sakic, Hayduk, and Tanguay up front against Peterson, Brashear, and Cook. Puck snared at center by Peterson. His shot is well wide of the goal. And Blake a hit on the near boards, and Milan Hayduk back to center. 3-on-3. And the play goes offside as Tanguay was in ahead of the puck.
Well, let's see who's in tonight's game and who's not. For the Avalanche, it's the same lineup. The same lineup for all 4 games now that Bourque is back. Muir played the first couple. Bourque is back for his second game. Pratt, Dingman, and Reed out of the lineup tonight. For the Vancouver Canucks, the list just grows. As now Bob Essenza is out of the lineup for the Vancouver Canucks. Naslund, Castles, LeChance, all out of the playoffs also.
Although Peter Schaefer, that man on the bench, had a Charlie horse, missed game 3. And as you can see, is back in the lineup.
And what he gives, Schaefer gives him is speed and good penalty killing. Ray Bourque, 26 minutes in game 3, his first game of the playoffs.
Now it's Drury, Nieminen, and Forsberg against Henrik Sedin, his twin brother Daniel, and Todd Bertuzzi. And Ray Bourque controls it. Here's foot ahead for Drury, the hero in game 1. In for Bourque, offside. As the Avalanche were offside as they walked in. Another whistle.
First goal for Vancouver. I believe they have to get that first goal. The Avalanche 34-4 when they get the first goal during their regular season. Secondly, a 2-goal lead. The Avalanche get ahead by 2. Vancouver has to sort of open things up, and that could be a disaster. And finally close it out. The Avalanche know with a win tonight and the way the other series are going, they could have anywhere up to 10 days off before they start their next series.
Bob Hartley, last year his club took a 3-0 lead in the first round against Phoenix, but lost game 4, 3-2, and won game 5 at home, 2-1. You know the Avalanche don't want a game 5. Todd Bertuzzi for Vancouver. Fires it, rebound try. And Daniel Sedin put it high as it was blocked in front. Nieminen gets it off the boards and out of danger. Now Ed Jovanovski in for Henrik Sedin. What a play one, back up the glass, and out of trouble it goes. Jovanovski now for Olin. And he'll tip it deep in the Avalanche zone, and we get a whistle.
Well, a lot of news here in Vancouver yesterday. Mark Crawford, when the game ended, last game against the Avalanche, that 4-3 win for the Avalanche in overtime. There was a play in overtime that Mark Crawford was upset with. He went after the referees in his press conference and was fined $15,000. The Canucks themselves were fined $10,000 as a franchise for not opening up the room soon enough after the game. But Mark Crawford yesterday, said that he realized that Colin Campbell, director of hockey operations of the National Hockey League, had to do the right thing. Mark and actually Colin Campbell were teammates here in Vancouver in '82, so they're good friends.
Now Reinfrecht gets it for the Avalanche in front. And the player going to the net was hauled down. That was Sean Podine. No penalty call to the play, now picked up by Brian Allen in his second game of the series in front. Reinfrecht got back there to break it up. Allen tipped one to the corner for Brendan Morrison. Now Allen. His shot hit the leg of Podine. Chipped to the corner for Harold Druken in front. And no one is home for Vancouver. And the Avs clear it to center. Now Allen, who was picked 4th overall in '98, gets it in. DeBreeze. Around the wall it goes. This is Yell on with high note. And now Scott Parker. And the Canucks to center. Murray Barron taps it into the Avalanche zone. And again, Watt to play it. Ruutu, the rookie, cuts it off. Now Rob Blake comes over, and his big body gets in front of the Canuck. And he chips it all the way down the ice. Jovanovski going back for Vancouver. He's averaging about 27 minutes a night in the playoffs. Schaefer banged on it. And then Sakic knocked Jovanovski down. And the Avalanche get the puck. Sakic ahead to Blake with the big shot over the head of Cloutier. And Parker the rebound, and he put that one wide. Sakic to the corner. Off the boards, right in front. Tanguay was cutting, but it was behind him. Now Haydu grabs it. Milan Haydu leaves it back there. Sakic can't get it. Fired ahead by Peterson, and off the boards and down the ice. This will be against Vancouver.
And congratulations to Patrick Roy, the first goaltender in NHL history to play 200 playoff games. We all know about Patrick Roy's numbers, but this is an extraordinary number of games to play. You see the next guy is Grant Fuhr, 50 games behind him. John, you'd have to go to the Stanley Cup Finals 10 years in a row to get 200 wins. It takes about 20 games, 22 games per year to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. So you'd have to do it 9 or 10 games in a row. Here's all time. Patrick Roy jumps into the top 10. Of course, the Avalanche assistant coach Brian Trottier tied with Claude Lemieux at 5th at 221.
So to put it in perspective, only 11 players in the history of the game have played in 200 playoff games. Here's Raymond Bourque. Backhander, Cloutier the save. Now Bourque in tight, can't center. Henrik Sedin for Vancouver. And off the wall, too far for Bertuzzi. Forsberg recovers for the Avalanche. He has points in every game, including his first ever playoff overtime goal. Forsberg darts in front of drive, and he put that one wide. DeVries kept it in. Knocked away by Henrik Sedin, not out of the zone. Now DeVries again. On the half boards to Forsberg. In front for Foot. Daniel Sedin was there to chip it away. And the Canucks at center. Henrik Sedin, and a bouncer goes wide of Waugh. And he missed it.
It just went completely to Patrick Waugh's right.
Well, that took a funny hop and knuckleball from Daniel Sedin. Now Trent Platt for Vancouver, back to Olin. Fires it right on, and it's saved by Waugh. Good save there with the shoulder. Morrison for Platt. He's got 2 goals in the series. Now Morrison, back of the goal, and Clem wipes out Platt and takes the puck and whips it down the ice. It doesn't go all the way. Stoffel fanned on it. Tanguay steals it. Run hard by Olin as he was hit from behind. And broke into center. This is Matthias Olin. 3-on-3 to Morrison. Fires it. Blocked in front by Blake, and the Avalanche have a 3-on-2 led by Messier. In with Blake to Blake. Hit the goal post. Oh, Blake hit the post. And the net is free. And we might have a penalty on the play.
The Avalanche are going off, I imagine, for goaltender interference. It has been a terrific hockey series. There's no getting around it. These two clubs from game one have just gone back and forth. There has not been a 2-goal lead by either club in this series. As a matter of fact, only twice has a club scored 2 goals in a row in this series. Patrick Roy, what a funny bounce the first one took, and now he makes a big save. So Roy was tested early with a funny bounce, and then he comes up with a good save at the other end. Tanguay gets the puck, but he pays the price as Ulin comes in and just crushes Tanguay into the far boards. A 3-on-2. Blake jumping into the play. Mark Crawford was saying that one of the things that he's found out about Blake is that very few players drive from the far side as well as Blake jumping into the play.
Well, Peter, we thought there might have been a penalty call in the play, but there were none.
What it must have been, John, is the Avalanche were the ones that knocked the net off. That's why the face-off came outside the zone.
So it remains scoreless. Shots 1-0. We're at a 2-1 for the Avalanche. As Skula turns behind his own goal. Avalanche used numerous defensive combinations in Game 3. As it was the first time they had the big three in the lineup together for a full game. As Waugh hammers it off the boards. Bob Hartley said before the game, he doesn't necessarily want Blake, Bourque, or Foote on the ice for every second, but he said one of the three will be on the ice for every key moment in the game. Yeah, and I think that, we talked about the big three. It really and truly for the Avalanche is the big six, because they have great confidence in DeVries, Skula, and Clem. So as it's going along here, they're going to find out in each situation who to use against the other team's fourth line, third line, right after power plays, right after the penalty kill. So it's going to be moving on and on for the Avalanche, their coaches, as they try to figure out the right pairs at the right time. Here's a shot by Barron off a leg. The Avalanche get the puck out. Tanguay with some room at center. Sakic's up there as well. Nice move by Tanguay to Sakic, and he just missed the pass. Nice effort by Tanguay. Then John Clem to play it for the Avalanche. Off the boards it goes. Sopel there for Vancouver. And for the Vancouver Canucks, their strategy against the Sakic line is size. They have gone to big, hard-hitting line. Sakic into Tanguay. Trying to get it off his skates. Failed to do so, and Sopel rips it out to center. Now Clem for DeVries, ahead to Tanguay in the midst of a line change. Tanguay waits and waits, and drops one to the corner for Neiman, and now to Forsberg. He pulls down Henrik Sedin. Forsberg gets the puck, fires it, and a save by Cloutier from a tough angle. Then it rolls back to center for Bourque. Forsberg almost caught him cheating. Almost. And Forsberg has had a couple of good shots early. Now a pass ahead off the stick of Drury all the way down the ice. Jovanovski sprints after it, and icing called. Forsberg was a hero in Game 3. He almost gets the Avalanche the lead in Game 4.
Check it out, a totally twisted way to eat pizza.
Yeah, new Twisted Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. It's breadsticks.
No, it's pizza.
It's both.
Look, go directly to the Twisted Crust and tear off a breadstick.
Dude, what planet are you from? You eat your pizza first and you save your breadsticks till the end.
No, it's breadsticks first, then the free marinara or ranch dipping sauce, then pizza.
You're twisted. Pizza first.
The new Twisted Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. Breadsticks and pizza together at last.
I got one word for you. Breadsticks.
That's 2 words, Brainiac.
Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Presenting the full line of Chevy S10s. Others let you choose a color. We let you choose an identity. Chevy S10, like a rock.
Get 0.9 APR for 60 months on a 2001 S10 4-cylinder. That's over $3,500 in average finance savings. See your Chevy dealer for residency and other restrictions.
Hey, you. Yeah, I miss you too. It's been a while.
Hey, Mom. No, I'll be home soon.
Verizon Wireless. Our network covers more towns, more cities, and more places than anybody else's in the country. So you know that just about anywhere your business takes you, you'll stay connected to your biggest fans. Verizon Wireless. Simple, affordable, national. Join in.
Well, if you're between 6 and 18 years old, now is your chance to sign up for the 3rd annual Avalanche High Intensity Hockey Camp, featuring instructors, Avalanche head coach Bob Hartley, our own Peter McNabb, DU's Ron Graham, and a special guest appearance by Dan Hinote. For more information, call 303-405-6025. And the Avalanche get the face-off. Ryan Preck got it back for Bourque. On to Blake. Up the middle, Messier, who got 4 stitches on the bridge of the nose in Game 3. He was out there with Ryan Precht and Podine. Now the puck squirts in front, and Blake angles it off the boards into Canuck territory. Avalanche 3 or 4 times already, no mistakes in their own zone. They've had the puck, and they have just bounced it off the boards and out. They know that they don't want to get Vancouver that first goal. This is Druk, and a shot. Blocker saved by Wall, and the rebound put wide by Barahowski. Canucks again. Morrison a drive that was blocked, at the defense. Skula trying to clear it. Kicks it ahead. And Podine pokes it onto center ice. Jovanovski hounded by Yell. And Ruutu is run down by Parker. Jovanovski trying to walk it out of the zone. His pass ahead off the stick of the rookie Pat Kavanaugh. Now Kavanaugh in a high note battle for it. It comes back to Blake and ahead, but Olin is right there at the red line. Skula knocked it down, and Parker clears it. Well, the intensity is no different here in Game 4 than the first 3 games. Murray Barron in for Vancouver. Now for Schaefer. Trying to get away from Blake. Schaefer spins around in front. And Blake, I think, in the corner took a penalty. And now Parker, that's a penalty that he probably wishes he didn't take because the Canucks will get a 5-on-3.
Well, John, I think maybe they're both going. The referee went right over and grabbed Ruutu
for diving.
The Avalanche catch a little bit of a break right there. When you break down the first 3 games for the Vancouver Canucks, the power play has been very, very important for them because in each of the first 3 games, the first goal has come to the Vancouver Canucks, which has got them energy and I think saved them from being too much in awe, especially early, John, in these games. And they get a little bit of a lead. So they've had the first goal each game on the power play.
And the other factor, they are missing 53 goals when you combine the Naslund and Castle's goal total, so they know they can't fall behind by a couple of goals to this Avalanche team. They don't have the firepower to come back.
And that's what we're talking about, that 2-goal lead. The Avalanche, if they can ever get that, because it does force you to open things up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ruutu may have gotten an unsportsmanlike conduct for diving.
So Parker, a roughing minor. Ruutu is in the box, and Blake was getting the original call. So Vancouver with a power play. In the series, Vancouver 3 for 11. They were 1 of 5 in Game 3. So the extra minor to Blake for roughing. Here's Berehowski to the corner. Now Morrison for Harold Druken. Down low for Bertuzzi. Centering pass. Foot blocked it with his foot. Morrison again. He lets it go. Saved by Waugh. The rebound cleared by Podine. And it goes down the ice. Good save there by Waugh. Jovanovski back to center. His pass over the stick of Druken. And Bork there for the Avs. Morrison cuts it off. Up in the air. Foot trying to clear it out. Jovanovski on the line. Now Berehowski for Druken. He's checked by Foot. And Milan Hejduk for Colorado back to center. And he'll just tap it into the Vancouver zone. 1:05 to go in the power play. No score first period. This is Jovanovski ahead for Daniel Sedin. Forsberg picked his pocket. He's out there with Sakic, who races after it, but Cloutier behind the goal for Berehowski. We have not had a short-handed goal scored in this series. Long pass goes behind Klatt. And now Waugh has to play it. Or it might have come in front, so a smart play by Waugh, and he'll take the face-off.
For Patrick, there's been some talk that he hasn't been as sharp as, they've seen him in the playoffs. But Patrick Waugh is also 3-0 in the playoffs right now, and that's what you have to do. Come up with a big play at the right time, and that's what I've really impressed me about the Avalanche to this point. Make no mistake about it, the Vancouver Canucks are playing as well as they can. They are playing a terrific hockey series. Tough, mean, well-coached, everything you'd want. But the Avalanche have met it and find a way to come up with the big save, the right goal, the big play by their star players.
Well, Waugh has said in the past few days that, especially in games 1 and 3, he knows he could have played better.
He wasn't particularly happy, but again, he found a way to win.
That's the bottom line. Boy, Peter, you talked to the pregame show with Mark about the Sedin twins. Have they been impressive, Henrik and Daniel?
And you just never know. You get a couple of 20-year-old kids in their first playoffs against a team like the Avalanche with the, all the firepower, the star power that they have, and you say, okay, let's find out about these kids. And the Vancouver Canucks have to be thrilled. These kids have stepped up, and they will just be better next year no matter how this ends, because of how they have played so far.
Henrik told me this morning that they are both going to stay in Vancouver right after the season and try and work on the weights. Here's a shot by Henrik, save, stumble the rebound, and he put that one wide. Bork doesn't have a stick. Now Daniel Sedin back for Olin. Olin the drive, and that hit foot. And Bodine clears it. And now Bork can get his stick. And the Avalanche dodge a bullet there. 12 to go. In the power play, here's Hayduk. He guns it in from center. Cloutier pressured by Sakic. Then around Olin, lost it to Sakic. Now for Hayduk. Moves around the man. A drive! And a save by Cloutier. Good move by Hayduk. And back to full strength. Olin darts into the zone. So Vancouver now 0 for 1 on the power play. Waugh around the board. Sakic. He bursts to center. Into the zone. Fires it right on goal. And a save by Cloutier. And Brashear counters. John Clem going back. Vancouver had 2 shots on goal during their power play. And some good pressure. It remains scoreless. Now struck back into the John Clem corner. And he gets it out. Penalty called here. Peter behind the play, I think, on Vancouver.
On Matt Cook. Matt Cook going off the ice. Takes down Tanguay right in front of the Vancouver bench, and off he goes.
So the Avalanche will get a power play.
The kind of penalty that you want to take. Tanguay's right there. No penalty, no penalty, and all of a sudden, completely away from the play. The puck was down the other way. The referee, you see his hand on the right side. Up it goes, and Tanguay gets to say, hey, good play, big guy.
And there's an example of the effectiveness of the 2-referee system. You saw the back referee behind Tanguay. One referee, maybe it doesn't get called.
And both coaches are now saying, gentlemen, watch it. Watch the plays in front of the benches.
And the Canucks clear it down the ice. The Avalanche in the series 4 for 15 in the power play. Sakic left it for Bork. Back to Sakic off his skates. Now to the corner for Forsberg. He's bumped by Barron. And it's taken by Milan Hayduk to Sakic. Back on the point to Blake. He's open. Fires it high. Over the left shoulder. Cloutier. Forsberg. He kept it in. Back on the line again for Bork. The drive, and Cloutier made the save. And he held on with Sakic after the rebound.
This is such a fun power play to watch. When you've watched, power plays over the years, you realize that you're looking at one of the best collection of hockey talent ever put on the ice together for one power play. Forsberg, Sakic, Hayduk, Bork, and Blake at the points. And not only are they great offensively, they can all shoot, got great hands, but you see the imagination of Forsberg right there to take that puck away from the man. He got the stick in just the right spot, spun him around, used a little strength, gets it to Bork, and all of a sudden a nothing play turns into a real good scoring chance for the Avalanche.
Ray Bork in his 21st playoff year. A record in all sports. Drury on the ice. In this scoreless game to the corner for Nieminen, out high to Blake. Across 4 foot. He scored the big tying goal in the 3rd period on the power play in game 3, setting up the Forsberg winner. Now Blake on the line again. Drury trying to settle it. Nieminen back for Drury. Tanguay's in front. Here comes Drury. Doesn't pull the trigger. Right point to Blake. He lets it go. A save and a dandy by Cloutier with the glove. That was smoking.
Does he hit that thing hard? I mean, there is no holding back when Blake hits this shot. Now, Blake, very active. One of the things that I've really enjoyed about watching Rob Blake a little closer is how active he is. Now, look how he gets in motion. The right side, he's finding the lane. He stops, he starts. He keeps himself in that passing lane. If he's just going to stand out at that point and wait for Drury to do something miraculous, there's no way. He forces a lane to open up. by moving around, and then once he gets it, it's just look out. That's a good save by Coluche.
He admitted today when he first got to Colorado he was a bit tentative, but there's not much tentativeness in his game now. Everything is done with authority. 30 left in the power play.
Last game, first period, 5 hits, and really started to turn this game around for the Avalanche on one particular sequence, a couple of big hits.
Forsberg to the corner for Sakic on this Avalanche power play. Back to Forsberg. Hayduk's in the slot. Out high for Bork. Forsberg again. Into Sakic. Quick shot. Saved by Cloche. Hayduk after the rebound, and it's covered by Oland. And the goaltender, Cloche.
Very interesting how the Avalanche worked this power play. The 4 guys, aside from Blake, are all ready to, from Bork, are set to collapse. Blake's coming in from the far side. Bork is the one guy on the umbrella that stays out deep, ready to help out if the puck happens to squirt out. But they bring those 4 guys down. Everybody has to pick exactly the right man or somebody's going to be open. Now watch Bork. Bork is sliding from right to left, stays out. Blake on the far side. Now watch how they all collapse towards the net. In they come. And now the right decision has to be made or something's going to happen for the Avalanche.
Now 5 to go in the power play. Foot trying to hold it in. He was bumped by Morrison. And it's ripped down the ice by Oland. So Vancouver has killed it off. Both clubs are 0 for 1 on the power play. 6:25 left in the first period. Shots are 8-4 for the Avalanche. Now Yell into the zone for Messier's shot. And a save by Cloche. Foot back on the line. Nice job to keep it in there. Ends up back to the goal. Brian Allen, who played well in Game 3, his first ever playoff game, gets it out. Foot off the glass to the Canuck line. And Allen ahead for Daniel Sedin to Henrik. For Bertuzzi, but Bork read the pass. Carried in by Berehowski. And the pass back, now snared by Henrik Sedin. For Daniel down behind the Avalanche goal. Reinprecht has his man tied up. Now Bertuzzi trying to kick it free. Trying to wheel in front, he can, and Bork with a good play. And Podine shovels it down the ice. He's after it. Big hit on Allen by Sean Podine, who is tied for the club lead in this series with 15 hits. This is Droken. Backhand, saved by Waugh. And then Brashear put the rebound. What another shot by Jovanovski, and a great save by Waugh there with the pad. And the Avalanche cleared away.
Maybe the best sequence for Patrick all series. Couple of tremendous saves.
And the best one, the third on that man, Jovanovski. And the Avalanche are offside at the blue line.
Patrick Waugh looks sharp early in this hockey game.
He looks ready.
Some of the best seats at Pepsi Center could be yours. Club seats at Pepsi Center provide a great view of your Colorado Avalanche and Denver Nuggets in action. And the club seats at Pepsi Center offer exclusive access to the best in Pepsi Center's live concerts and events. Club level seating includes seat-side wait service, access to reservations at the beautiful Ridgeline restaurant, and many other exciting benefits. For information on club seat availability, call 303-405-1250 today.
Zesty! Zesty! Zesty times 2. The only thing zestier than eating a crunchy Taco Bell taco is eating 2 crunchy Taco Bell tacos.
Zesty party of 2.
A tale of 2 zesties.
Uno, dos, zesty!
There's nothing like doubling up on America's #1 taco. And right now, you can do it for just 99 cents. 2 crunchy tacos for 99 cents. Get them at the Bell.
Hello, Zesty. Call waiting. Hello? Zesty!
Over the years, we've made the Chevy Suburban more powerful, more comfortable, and now more affordable. With 1.9% APR on 2001 Suburbans, that's over $2,700 in average finance savings. See dealer for residency and other restrictions. 1.9 APR. One more reason it's the best Suburban yet. Offer ends April 30th. See your Chevy dealer today.
Patrick Waugh, his 86th start with the Colorado Avalanche, his record 54-31. He has started every game and been the goaltender of record in every game for the Avalanche. It'll be no different tonight. But he has been sharp. A couple of quick shots by the Canucks who are, you know, they are going to throw everything at him in tonight's game.
No score as the Canucks go back. Sopel, he was driven hard by Tanguay into the end boards, and it comes to center. And Brashear, who's been rather quiet in the series, gets it into the corner. Waugh back of the goal. Really got caught there. Now he flips one to Tanguay. Behind Sakic, in control by Murray Barron. Now the puck to Blake, ahead for Tanguay. Nice move. Hayduk, he was hit at the line by Sopel. But Hayduk gets it back. Now Murray Barron. Forsberg on the ice for the Avalanche. Well, just like the first three games, the hitting is at a frenzied pace. In Game 3, the Avalanche actually out-hit Vancouver 50-41 as the Avalanche had a season-high 50 hits. Let's check tonight's scouting report brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Dan Cloutier, former to the New York Rangers, that would look to be, he looked to be the goaltender of the future. For the Rangers, big trade sends him to Tampa Bay, and then another big trade sends him to the Vancouver Canucks. And I think for the Vancouver Canucks, they're hoping that this is going to be the guy that is going to set them up as they move along with what looks to be a very good young hockey club.
Cloutier's a feisty guy. He's been known to get into battles. He fought Steve Passmore, the Hawk goaltender, a few years ago. He's even fought other players. And apparently he's a pretty good fighter. Whether he's a true #1 goaltender remains to be seen. But he's only 24. And as you said, Peter, this Canuck team, pretty good young hockey club.
It's a look to the future club. There's no question. They got Ullin 24, Jovanovski's 24. This kid Allen, he's drafted in '98. He's only 21 years old.
Here's a pass by Drury right through the goal crease area. And Henrik Sedin dishing one ahead now for Jovanovski. Can't make a play. The Vancouver Canuck defense already in this game, Peter, very, very active. So you might look for some odd man rushes the other way if the Avalanche can capitalize. But you get the sense that Mark Crawford told his club, hey, we need to go for it. We've got to win this game, and that's obvious.
Same game plan. Game 1 is Game 4. They can't change things. They've stayed in this series by being aggressive, by taking some chances.
Here's Adam Foote. He scoops one into the Canuck zone. Steve Reinprecht is there against Barahowski. Now Messier comes in to help out. Reinprecht battling hard. And the puck into skates. Reinprecht knocked down by Barahowski. And now a whip to the ground. Messier gets it. Now Podine trying to find it. Podine, a big hit in the corner on Allen. What a war in that corner. Now John Clun with it for the Avs. Lets it go. And Reinprecht, he's mobbed one too many times by Barahowski. I mean, he got away with it behind the goal, but when it came in front, he got the headlock on, he tackled him, he held the stick, he did everything.
John, at the end of that, what an example of what this line is about. All three of them, Messier, Reinprecht, Podine, are lying on the ice. They've been knocked down, but they draw a penalty. This was a great battle. Reinprecht, who's giving away probably 25 pounds at least to Barahowski, just kept working and working, stayed with it. Messier was tied up. Podine was tied up. They stayed on it until finally Barahowski takes a penalty, but they're just in there, swamping away. But watch the end of the play. There's a penalty right there. Reinprecht gets pulled down. Messier gets pulled down, and Podine on the right side was knocked down. Was that a shift of effort or what by that third line?
So the Avs on their second power play of the evening. Both teams are 0 for 1. The Avalanche had 4 shots on goal during their first power play. Again, it's Bourque and Blake on the points. Up front, Sakic, Hayduk, and Forsberg. Forsberg, good elbows to Olin. Get the puck and control it. To the corner for Sakic. Vancouver very, very aggressive, killing the penalty, pressuring the puck Wherever it goes, Forsberg back to Bork. Fires it wide. Now Blake walks in. Here's Blake back to the goal to Forsberg. Who again takes it out high now for Bork. For Blake. He'll chip one behind the Canuck net. Olin is there. Olin trying to clear it. And Bork lost it. Tripped up the Canuck player. And a penalty called on that one. Well, Bork had to do it as it bounced over his stick, and he knew there was a 2-on-1 going by him.
Yeah, Morrison was gone. There's just no question. The puck came back. It was flipping as it came to the point. He tried to stop it. But once Morrison got by him, there wasn't much you could do. Left side of your screen. Puck's bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Bork goes to get it. Can't find it. The referee on the left side of your screen makes the call.
And a tripping minor. One thing Bork does every game, before every game, he changes the skate laces on his skates. Why, I don't know. Probably a superstition more than anything.
Oh, yeah, he's got it. You know what it is? One of the things is preparation. He has little rituals, you don't want to call superstitions, that he goes through. But it's part of mentally preparing himself for every single game. And I know it's the kind of thing that other players watch, and at first they go, what is he doing? And then they realize it's how Ray Bork gets himself to the level he gets to every single game. And players start to realize preparation is a big key for every game.
I watched him do it today, and I was thinking, boy, those are beautiful new laces he's taking out and getting some new ones in there. Now Adam Foote, 4-on-4. Of course, the Avalanche won the game 4-on-4 in Game 3. Henrik Sedin down the ice. Drops it to brother Daniel. Trying to get a shot. Back for Sopel. And it came to center as he lost the handle.
The Avalanche caught a break there as Foote, the defenseman, had lost his stick, and the forwards didn't realize it. So Foote was down low without his stick. And we've shown you so many times that should it be a forward or defenseman, if there's only one stick available, should always be that defenseman. Foote coming back, he was very aggressive. Stick gets knocked out. Now he's breaking up the ice. He's looking to yell to Drury or Tanguay, I believe, that, I need a stick, but they're up front. They can't give him one yet. And the defenseman is certainly a fish out of water until he gets a stick. Sometimes I think even we, John, you don't know how much you miss him till he's gone. I mean, when Foote missed those 35 games, you missed that hockey look, that intensity that he brings to the Avalanche every night.
He is made for a playoff series like this. 25 seconds, the Canucks will get a power play. Meanwhile, 4-on-4. No score late in the first. Across to Forsberg. Sakic breaks to the net. The pass. Sakic knocked it down. Net of Blake. In front. He didn't get a lot on it. And the Canucks have a chance to clear it. And they do in the final minute of the first period. And Blake off the boards. Berehowski is now back, so Vancouver on a power play.
And Brent Sopel just got a Peter Forsberg hit rock. Did he hit him?
And the Canucks are offside. Well, as you can see, Stanley Cup playoff fever is heating up, and the Pepsi Center Trading Company is the best place in town to get your official Colorado Avalanche playoff merchandise. The Pepsi Center Trading Company is open 10 to 5 weekdays and 10 to 3 on Saturdays.
There's Peter Forsberg right there. Peter Forsberg asks for no one to play any harder than he does. I mean, he'll take his checks, just let him play the way he's going to play. Here's the hit on Sopel, who's played well for the Canucks. These are the kind of hits that are so hard to take. I mean, these ones hurt. You know you're going to get it. Bang. And it's just that shoulder to the side of your head, and you are hurting.
25 left in the period. Vancouver on the power play for the second time in the game. Here's Olin trying to go coast to coast. Tripped up. And that is called, and Vancouver will get a 5-on-3. Their second 5-on-3 of the series. They had one in Game 2.
For the Avalanche, you know that they can come back from a goal behind. They have done it, and they have proven to be an extraordinary offensive club, obviously, with the talent they have. But for Vancouver, this is a key moment. It's only 17 seconds, but the face-off is in the Avalanche zone. And to send yourself off into the first period, into the locker room, up 1-0 is a huge difference than at even. So, I mean, these are the kind of moments that can make or break a club staying in a playoff hunt.
Now, the Avalanche do get a bit of a break here. 17 seconds left in the period, 28 on the 5-on-3. Right. So if they can get the draw and clear it, it would all but kill it off in this period. Sakic on the face-off against Brendan Morrison, who scored the Canucks goal 5-on-3 in Game 2. And they battle for it. Sakic won it and cleared by Messier. It's Messier, Sakic, and foot on the ice for the Avalanche. 10 to go in the period. Olin ahead for Bertuzzi. Avalanche blocked the pass. And 3 seconds left in the period. Olin, while the glove save, and that is it. So Vancouver will have 10 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey to begin the second period.
One game into the next, into the next, into the next with the way these clubs are playing. This has just been another great period of hockey between these two clubs as they just continue to battle away at each other.
Shots 11-7 for the Avalanche. No score after 1 in Game 4 between Colorado and Vancouver.
Pizza from Pizza Hut. Breadsticks and pizza together at last. I got one word for you. Breadsticks.
That's 2 words, Brainiac.
Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Base paid $3 million per man and $1 million for first-year men.
No.
Percentage of the gate, broadcast revenues, and free agency after 3 years.
No.
2 weeks vacation, a case of Bud Light, and a free turkey Thanksgiving.
What? No on the vacation, no on the Bud Light, and maybe on the turkey.
Deal. Congratulations, boys.
Congratulations? You just gave us the bird.
What's with the face? Everybody loves turkey.
Yellowstone National Park is more than a natural wonder. It's an American treasure. Join Conoco and support a new Old Faithful Visitor Education Center for today's and future generations. Make a donation to the Yellowstone Park Foundation by calling 406-586-6303.
Cross country.
Colorado Avalanche hockey is brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevy will be there. And by Verizon Wireless. Simple, affordable, national. Visit a Verizon Wireless store near you. And welcome back to GM Place in Vancouver, British Columbia. No score after 1 period of play. The Canucks will have a power play. A 5-on-3 for the first 11 seconds of the second. Speaking of special teams, earlier Patrick Waugh talked about the importance of special teams in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Well, I think special are the key in the playoffs. You need to have penalty killing doing it. Big role in our success.
As we look at the time remaining in the penalties to Bork and Clem and John, to me, when you look at the Avalanche club, I think penalty killing is more important than the power play. I think 5-on-5, the Avalanche will score enough goals. If their penalty killing is rock solid as the playoffs go along, I think they'll score enough goals.
So 5-on-3 for 11 seconds. And then a 5-on-4 for 131. Set for the second period of Game 4. Yell gets the face-off. And Foote clears it down the ice. Another big win. And the Canucks have to go all the way back. Jovanovski ahead for Morrison. Rips it across for Berehowski. And the Avalanche get one man out of the box. So it's a 5-on-4. Here's Foote chipping one along the wall. Berehowski in from the point. Now for Drukin. Lets it go to Bertuzzi. To Morrison. Back on the line. Berehowski for Jovanovski. Right wing to Morrison. Fires it and he missed the net. And Yell is there to scoop it all the way down the ice. Including tonight, Vancouver 3 for 13 on the power play. And every time they have scored the first goal with a power play goal. And this play is offside.
Not to try to talk, too much about numbers, but there have been some interesting trends so far in the playoffs with the games that have been played tonight. 3 more. Home ice advantage, 17-13. That's it so far. The favorite, meaning the top seed, the higher seed in the matchups, 15-15. A straight 50%. 1-goal games, John, 20 of 30. Every 2 out of 3 games is a 1-goal game, and 11 games so far of the 30 have gone into overtime.
And for the Avalanche, in their last 19 playoff games, going back to last year, they have not won by more than 2 goals. In their last 19, the last time they won by more than 2 was Game 1 against Phoenix when they won 6-3. Sopel walks in. Can't pull the trigger. Sopel in tight for Henrik Sedin. Hand on it. Then he had an open side. I think Klett was upended by Blake. The Canuck player has lost his stick. And Reinprecht chips it on to center ice. That was Daniel Sedin who lost his stick. Now DeVries gets it. Here's DeVries, a shot. And that is off target. 10 to go in Clem's minor. And the Canucks to center. Henrik Sedin behind Todd Bertuzzi, who has scored a couple of goals in the series. Drop pass. And Yell broke it up. Short-handed with Clem. Out of the box. A drive by Yell. Hit the back of the goal. Now Clem down low. Podine trying to charge in front. And he's pulled down. No call. And Peterson sprints the other way to the Avalanche line. And Yell clubs into the zone. And is run hard by Peterson. Vancouver no shots on that power play. And the Canucks are now 0 for 3 in tonight's game.
Ray Bourque. The Vancouver Canucks, John, that last power play had 2 chances to shoot and they didn't. Sopel and Sedin both had a chance to shoot and they didn't. And just sometimes it's just a little inexperience. When you get a chance in a game like this, simplify it. Just get that puck on net. That's the key right now. Sopel, I think, really, with the chance out, has stepped up. And another one of those players for the Canucks has shown so much. Just 24 years old. He is going to be a real good young player for this hockey club.
He was in the minors until mid-January. And has played about 19 minutes a night in this series. Speaking of minors, the Avs Farm Club, the Hershey Bears, you mentioned underdogs earlier. Well, they were underdogs to Kentucky in their first-round series. And they swept Kentucky 3-0 to win the series. So congratulations to Mike Foligno and the Bears. Here's Jovanovski. Olin in front for Daniel Sedin, and he pushed that one wide. Blake trying to clear it now. Taken by Drury. On for Skula. He goes wide on Sedin. A pass in front. Kept in by Forsberg. Lets it go, and he drove that one wide. What a shot. Another drive by Forsberg, tipped by Drury, and a save by Kluche. And the Canucks pound it down the ice. This will be an icing call against the home club. Forsberg had 1 shot on goal in the first period, but he has pulled the trigger 3 or 4 times tonight.
He is starting to shoot the puck a little bit more in this series, but Peter Forsberg is just going to, when his game clicks in, he is one of those guys that's just unstoppable. Three games, 1 period and a bit. You look at the numbers. The Avalanche, who along with Jersey, came into after 3 games with the most goals for, with 11. And John, actually, that first period was a little bit of an aberration for these two clubs. In the first 3 games, they both scored in 7 of the 9 periods. Not a lot of goals per period, but very consistent with 1 goal each period.
Now Sakic tied up on the boards. Out with his usual line mates, Hayduk and Tanguay. And the puck is lifted over the boards. And again, we get a whistle. Actually, Vancouver, despite losing all 3 games in the series, they've had the advantage when it comes to playing with the lead.
Well, 7 minutes more than the Avalanche. In game 1, it was the Avalanche that were ahead, and Vancouver 3 times caught up. Last game, it was Vancouver that was ahead 3 times, and it was the Avalanche that caught up.
Here's Skula for Tanguay. He lost the puck, and Cook gets it off the boards. Although Vancouver, down the stretch in the month of March, they blew a lot of leads. In one 9-game stretch, 5 times they had a lead in the 3rd period and either lost or tied those games. So that trend began in March. Sopel for the Canucks. Up for Brashear. And he dumps it into the Avalanche zone. Lob. Guns it around the boards. Brashear was there. So was Cook. And then Brashear upends. Sakic gets the puck. A shot and a save by Waugh. Now Brashear down low again. He's a wrecking crew on this shift. Peterson trying to keep it in. He does. Now Brashear again. Toward the goal. Waugh knocked it away. Cook gets it. In the slot. Chipped around, and the Avalanche finally get it out. Here comes Blake. Into Hayduk, up the middle. A shot, and he didn't get a lot on that. As it was chipped away by the Canucks, and Kavanaugh with 4:10 gone in the 2nd period. Out to center. Well, Brashear has not been a big factor in this series. No points, 11 hits, but what a shift he just had. As Messier is stopped by Cloutier. Now Clem back on the line. He keeps it in. Brian Precht off the boards. Nice move in the slot. Canuck broke his stick. Here's Messier in front. Can't get turned around for a shot. And Ruutu charges back.
Penalty, John.
And a penalty behind the play. Well, the Avalanche currently taking deposits to be on the waiting list for future season tickets. You can call 303-405-1212 during regular business hours, or log on to ColoradoAvalanche.com and secure your place online right now.
Donald Brashear, all 6'3", 235 pounds, does a terrific job of just being a punishing force down low against the Avalanche. You follow up the puck, good puck skills. I mean, he's going to do some nasty stuff. The man is, he is a rough top hockey player, but Blake comes across, does a nice job. At the other end, again, for the Avalanche, this 3rd line has been so consistent. You saw Claudine get cross-checked from behind. The Avalanche go on the power play.
And the rookie Allen goes off for cross-checking at 4:37. The Avalanche get their 3rd power play of the night. Of course, the Avalanche in the regular season, 3rd best power play in the league at 22%. Here's Blake, shovels it on to Hayduk. Hit by Barron. Olin trying to clear it. And Peterson will for Morrison. And his shot goes wide. Here comes Bourque. Bourque and Blake on the points. Forsberg trying to cut it off. He does. Back on the line to Bourque. Nice stick handling there. Forsberg works in to the slot. Fan on the shot as he had it blocked out. Bourque a drive, and he put that one wide. Forsberg gets it again. Forsberg wants to shoot, now to Sakic. To Hayduk. Quick shot. Better save by Cloutier. And it's cleared away.
Cloutier's best save of his 2 games against the Avalanche. He was absolutely magnificent on that save.
And the Avalanche guilty for icing. And 18,000 into it.
Hayduk in the right spot. Remember, the right-handed shot. So he and Sakic are looking tape to tape. It's going to be, as we're watching, right in the hash marks. Hayduk stick, bang. No time for the defenseman to react. This is a perfect pass right on the stick, and Hayduk just unloads low far side, and Cloutier kicks out that right pad.
Peter, you had talked earlier when the Avalanche had a power play in the first period. The Avs defenseman moving in, another option for Forsberg, and there was about, what, 6 inches there for the Avalanche to get the puck to Hayduk, and they did it.
Yeah, the passing of this group.
Here the Canucks short-handed. Berehowski has shot blocked. And it goes behind the Avalanche goal. 55 to go in the power play. Now Peterson with it. And that shot blockered away by Waugh. In this scoreless game, Adam Foote works it right up the middle. Up front, Drury, Reinprecht, and Tanguay. Tanguay trying to get the puck. Sokol behind his own goal for Jovanovski. And off the glass it goes and all the way down the ice. Good aggressive penalty killing by Vancouver. Now Skula to Tanguay. Head fake at the line. Lost the puck, cleared off the glass. And Ruutu gets it down the ice.
John, this is the longest we've gone into any game. 0-0. This is the longest it's been without a goal in a game.
Skula with 10 to go in the power play. Chris Drury charges after. Now Hayduk back on the line to Foote. Lets it go. Save. Cloutier! Stop Forsberg! And Cloutier may have gotten a bit lucky there. He was off balance, but got the pad on the Forsberg rebound.
But he has been good and maybe a little lucky, but mostly good tonight.
The Roman aqueducts have stood here since 145 BC, able to endure centuries because of an engineering marvel, the arch. A curved structure so incredibly strong that even when great pressure is applied to it, it holds its shape. A design with such strength and integrity that to this day, modern man has yet to improve upon it.
Insurance bills getting too hot to handle? Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hello? No, I can't save you money on car insurance. You want Geico, not Gecko. Well, that's uncalled for.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Красота увядает глупость остается.
Cepcitreho? Te chopraho.
人なしのしっこしといてダメだなんて言わないでよ。
In any language.
Ho sentito abbastanza. Sono giunta a una decisione. A little common sense goes a long way.
She's television's ruling force. Judge Judy, ruler of the free world.
Spend an hour with the judge, weeknights at 5:30 and 6 on UPN 20.
Doesn't Lula have a stupid written yet?
No score here in the second. Time to check tonight's Geico Direct moment. Barb Hartley says, if you don't think this is exciting, you're not a hockey fan. This is the hockey the league should try to sell. This hockey is what the fans want.
If you want to describe with one word how each game went, first game was a very loose game. Both clubs hit, ups and downs. The second one was a very tight 2-1 game. Last game was almost a perfect hockey game. 3-3 in overtime, and Avalanche win. Tonight we're back to tight, John.
The Avalanche had 2 shots on that last power play opportunity. No score. Back for Foote. Long shot. Tipped by Reinprecht. And wide of Cloutier. And Berehowski up the far boards. Henrik Sedin. Nice play at the line. Trying to get it across to Bertuzzi, but Bourque read the play, and the Avalanche come back to center. And Podine wrists one to the corner. Allen is back. First, number 5. And gets away from the Ford checking out Podine. And Drake Berehowski came over in the trade this year from Nashville in early March. Now Bourque for Foote. Here's Raymond Bourque again from center, and that shot was wide by a foot. Scott Parker on the ice here for the Avalanche. Did not see a lot of ice time in the first period, about a minute 27. Stefan Yell whacks it off the boards. Kruk in there, but now Parker to center. Heinold fell down, and Schaefer grabs it. Hit Yell up high, and he's hurt. And Parker shoots it in. Yell took that puck up high, and he's down back at the blue line. And now they finally blow the whistle as the referee, Dean Warren, came over and looked at Yell, who was in trouble.
We have seen a couple of examples of extraordinary, I don't know if the word is courage or just desire, in these playoffs so far. One of them happened the other night in Edmonton. If you happen to see it, it was something. Right off the side of the head. Right off the side of the head for Yell. But Jason Smith, the defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers, took one right in the mouth. Right in the mouth. Instead of going into the locker room and get stitched up, he stood in behind the bench, and the doctor stitched him up for 14 stitches right there beside the bench, so he didn't only miss about 2 shifts. But it's right there, Stefan Yell. I mean, he caught one.
It looks like right in the mouth.
Yeah.
Matt Sokolowski, the assistant trainer. Pat Carnes, of course, on the bench as well. Andy Parker, the Avalanche team doctor, is on the trip, so Stefan will get first-class medical attention.
And the team dentist, Doug Parker, is also
You're
here.
right, Steve Parker is here, so that's...
The Avalanche do everything they can. They bring their top doctor and their top dentist along to take care of situations just like this.
A dozen minutes left in the second period. Shots 18-9 for the Avalanche. But Kluche, a surprise starter, has been great. The Canucks held Essens out of practice yesterday with a sore knee, hoping that this morning he could go, but he said it wasn't strong enough. So Kluche got the call. Here comes Bertuzzi, 3-on-2. Gets it back from Daniel Sedin, and he can't get by Raymond Bourque. And the puck is golfed out of play. Let's check in downstairs with our colleague Mark Stout.
Hey, John, Stefan Yell has missed 32 games this season with various injuries. You know, he has scored a goal in 4 of the last 5 playoff years. The only time that he didn't score was when he missed 9 games in the 98-99 season in the playoffs there with a sprained knee. So despite the fact he's had some injuries and he's a guy that's always on the penalty kill, Stefan Yell has been able at least to get a goal and contribute. This is his 6th straight season in the playoffs with the Avs. I'll try to get an update from the dressing room, at least between periods, and let you know what's going on with Stefan Yell. Let's go back upstairs.
And Stefan Yell, you forget, but he has been with the Avalanche since day one as far as the playoffs go. 70-plus playoff games for the Avalanche. They've only played 86 now, so he's been in 73 of them.
And one of 6 remaining members of the 96 Cup team. Peterson on the faceoff. Lost it to Sakic. Now back for Sopel. In front for Scheer. Backhander. That caught a turnaround shot, and that was blocked at the Avs defense. Now for Scheer to the corner. Sakic got it away from him. The puck up the boards, not out. And Blake with a nice check. He got it back, and now Waugh hangs on. Well, this lineup Cook and Brashear coming alive.
You're not expecting them to score, but they've come close. Their job is to shut down the Sakic line as Mark Crawford has changed strategies in this hockey game. What they're trying to do is use their size and strength and keep the Avalanche from getting control of the puck and getting through that neutral zone with that speed. That's where Sakic's been so dangerous. Coming through the neutral zone with speed, backing the defensemen up, forcing them to give them the blue line.
Going back to the regular season, Sakic 11 goals in his last 7 games. Ray Bourque off the face-off in this scoreless game. Now 4 foot. High in the air, Drury collides with Daniel Sedin, and Jovanovski picks it up. Now Owen. And the aerial to the Avalanche line. Foot gloved it down. And on to Nieminen, into the zone. Nieminen cuts in, fires it, and it's saved by Cloutier. And then Nieminen took a swat at the goaltender, much to the chagrin of Jovanovski.
Everybody's trying to draw somebody into a penalty. They're all waiting for somebody to retaliate. Little bounce pass right here, and just bounced over two Canucks stick, but Nieminen flying on his off wing. He gave him a little tap. Watch him give him just a little tap, and Jovanovski is not going to let that go.
Right behind the leg.
Yeah. A little whack, and Jovanovski makes a beeline for Ville.
It is Reinprecht on the face-off. Out with Podine and Messier. Ryan Allen trying to work it off the boards. Now to center for Morrison. And the puck lobbed to center. Here's a break for Podine with Reinprecht. 2-on-2. Drop pass to Reinprecht. A shot and a save by Cloutier. There goes out of play.
This was a line Morrison that was on Sakic's line for most of the first three games, and they have been moved now to be on the Reinprecht line. Berehowski is going to come across. Nice job on a 2-on-2. Just stay with your man. Little switch right there. Pretty harmless shot, but a nice read on the 2-on-2, because the Avalanche, where they have burnt the Canucks, when you look at the 3 game-winning goals, Drury's on a breakaway. There was really looked to be a harmless play at the blue line. Hayduk's with the 2-on-2. Forsberg was a 1-on-2. So they've had some breakdowns in situations where they at least had the same number of players involved in the play.
Drury on a big face-off against Morrison. And the puck to the boards. Now Heino back to Blake. Lets it go, and that was wide. And off the end boards, snared by Klatt. And he goes into the corner with it. Around the boards. Morrison cuts it off. In front, and Skola knocked it away, and the Avalanche come to center. Here's Drury for Scott Parker. Berehowski a long feed for Trent Klatt, the most experienced Canuck in terms of playoff games. Now Sakic trying to get loose. Vancouver.
Did Drukin ever get away with one there? He grabbed Sakic's jersey, and it pulled right off, and Sakic went down.
Now Bourque wheels out of his own zone. He's got some room up the middle. And Cloutier, no problem there, makes the pad save, and no rebound.
Sakic looked to have a step, and Drukin says, "No, Joe, you ain't going anywhere."
Burger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating. The Charbroiled Superstar at Carl's Jr.
Ford Focus. Suspicious looks, non-suspicious price at your Rocky Mountain Ford stores.
Hey, you. Yeah, I miss you too. It's been a while.
Hey, Mom. No, I'll be home soon.
Verizon Wireless. Our network covers more towns, more cities, and more places than anybody else's in the country. So you know that just about anywhere your business takes you, you'll stay connected to your biggest fans. Verizon Wireless. Simple, affordable, national. Join in.
Well, did you know the Avs franchise swept only one playoff opponent in their history? That was the Panthers in the '96 Stanley Cup Finals, where the Avalanche won 1-0 in triple overtime.
And Neiman and Jovanovski do a little John here right off the face-off.
Here's Neiman getting the puck. Trying to stuff it in. Cloutier held his skate to the right post, and Daniel Sedin rips it down the ice. Bourque got back quickly, and the Avalanche converge, and here comes Neiman. And his drop pass right to Bertuzzi. As Forsberg has Henrik Sedin tied up in knots. Now Olin trying to move in. And his pass tip. Bourque gets it back of his own goal. And Raymond goes up the near side, and Nieminen charges to center. And he goes off on a line change. Olin a long feed for Bertuzzi. And rejected by Skola. Jovanovski for Vancouver. As things have gotten very tight on the ice. No room. Here's a long pass ahead, Blake. Trying to spring Sakic back across 2 lines. Then we get a whistle. Now the Slap and Slam Sports Jam scheduled for August 11th and 12th at Pepsi Center. The event features the Nuggets 3-on-3 tournament and the NHL Breakout Inline Hockey Tournament. For more information and registration, call 720-931-1580.
It's great watching a young player learn. And even though Jesus had great success in the playoffs, he now is a target. And then the last particular play, Cook came across, and earlier in this series, not previous playoffs, he would have been a hit on Jesus. Jesus said, hey, you know what? Come all the way through this stick. Meet my stick first. And Cook went right over to the referee and said, hey, what's going on? The referee said, you were coming at him. And Hager just put it out, that little NHL fence. You got to come through the fence. You want to come through it, I'll gladly say hello to you. There's nothing dirty, it's just leave it out. And if a guy wants to force his way through. There's Cook right there, one of the real, look at him, he's a battler. Cook is a battler, there's no getting around it. These are the little ones that pick up. Now here's Hayden, now watch Cook come. Cook comes right through. Boom. There you go. That's what you're going to get.
But if you are going to be a goal scorer in this league, and Hayduk certainly is, 41 on the regular season, you've got to take the abuse and fight through it. As the puck is rolled out of the Avalanche, or the Canucks zone, now into the Avs end, DeVries there, and puts it off the glass to center.
And the big thing, John, is show you're not afraid. If you show fear, it's in your eyes, especially in the playoffs, you're done.
And this will be an icing call against Vancouver. By the way, tonight's game is being shown live on Swedish television, and the game began at 4:30 a.m. Swedish time.
And hi to all those watching. The Sedin brothers were saying that mom and dad are going to go to bed, get up, watch the game, and then go to work. Eric Messier is really developing that NHL face, isn't he? He's got the big scar on from that awful play that happened earlier in the year on the right side of his face. So that's a scar from the skate of Brian Smith of Edmonton. It just slashed across the side of his face.
Well, we are live at GM Place in Vancouver, British Columbia. No score. Second period. Along with Peter McNabb and Mark Stout, I'm John Kelly. Here's Drury. From the line, a shot and a save by Cloutier. And Jovanovski covers with the help of his goaltender. That's the 20th shot on goal for the Avalanche. The Canucks have 9, and Peter, they've been stuck on 2 shots in this second period for about 5 or 6 minutes. So it's been all Avalanche in terms of shots.
And the Avalanche have done a terrific job in the series so far, keeping the shots on goal down. Game 1, 23. 19 game 2, 23 game 3. 65 total, about 22 per game against the Avalanche. So tonight again, that defense. And John, I can only see it getting tougher for teams to get shots as this group gets more and more used to playing together.
Forsberg on the big face-off against Henrik Sedin. Kicks it back to Bork. Now for Drury. Wrist shot. That was blocked by Olin to the corner. Snared by Heinold. Danny Heinold, a shot, and he missed the net by a foot. And Adam Foote keeps it in. Olin trying to clear it out. Daniel Sedin does. And Bork goes high with it, right back in the zone. Forsberg actually overskated the puck, or he might have had a break. Henrik Sedin trying to spring Bertuzzi. And Foote and Bork got back to break it up. Here's Peter Forsberg back in his own goal now for Bork. And he gets it off the boards to center. Henrik Sedin again for Vancouver. And the play was offside as twin brother Daniel had not cleared the zone.
And you got to credit the Sedin brothers. They're hanging in there. The question was, could they handle the pressure of a playoff series? And they've handled it very well. You look at the youth, this Vancouver club, the only club in the playoff younger is the Edmonton Oilers. A potential next round opponent were the Avalanche to get by Vancouver. The Avalanche get by Vancouver. Remember, they can't play Detroit. They can't play Dallas next round. The three clubs that they could play are St. Louis, San Jose, or Edmonton.
Or LA.
Or, pardon me, or LA. I was sort of looking at that series, but those are the four clubs they can play. But the clubs that really look like they're in dogfights right now to stay in the playoffs, St. Louis and San Jose tied 2-2. Edmonton, Dallas tied 2-2.
And Detroit playing at LA tonight. And the Red Wings lead the game 3-0, lead the series 2-1. Now Matt Cook. Checked from behind by Hayduk. Murray Barron hammers it in around the boards. It goes. Sopel did not hold it in. And it comes to center.
Just one of those strange little stats that where does it fit in the makeup of a club's history? Or at least a short history in Colorado. The Avalanche are 1-4 in Game 4's round 1. In other words, the first round of the playoffs. They've won once and they've lost 4 times. The only time they won was in Edmonton, the only series that they ended up losing. They ended up losing that series 4-3 when Curtis Joseph went crazy the last 3 games and allowed 1 goal.
And that was Mark Crawford's last game behind the bench. The night they lost Game 7. At least the Avalanche bench. Now Brian Allen back for Vancouver. Berehowski ahead for Peter Schaefer. Now Morrison kicks it ahead, drives it in. And Wass settles it for Ryan Precht. Now to DeVries, the 18,000 plus. Really into the game here. As Cody can't get by Allen. And they crash and bang back of the goal. Schaefer trying to get it away, and he does. Out of the zone. Now Blake moves up on the play. And the Canucks have to regroup. Berehowski in for Schaefer. Now Platt goes after it. He was hooked a bit. Gets it in front. Chance there for Morrison. And he never got a shot. Now back on the line, Jovanovski. Lets it go. Blocked by Forsberg, but a penalty called. I think a holding the stick minor on the Avalanche. Adam Foote argues. So you would think it's against him. It is. No score.
It's springtime in the Rockies, and that means sale time at Pepsi Center Trading Company. Select Denver Nuggets and Colorado Avalanche items are on sale now. Some at discounts of up to 50% off. All Nuggets jerseys are on sale for 30% off. And now's the time to check out great Colorado Avalanche playoff gear. Pepsi Center Trading Company's spring sale is for a limited time only, and supplies are going fast.
Cross country. Will the
the Brothers of Destruction be looking for a confrontation with Stone Cold and Triple H on SmackDown?
Thursday at 7 on UPN 20.
You're watching
UPN 20. KTVD, Denver. Metro Denver Cable, Channel 3.
Has Voyager entered a parallel universe?
What seems to be the trouble?
It hurts when I do this.
Then don't do it.
An all-new Voyager.
Saturday night at 7.
First pressure Vancouver's had in probably the last 6-7 minutes. And the Avalanche, you see them down low. The Avalanche have done a terrific job in this series of having the right number of people down low at the right times, taking away its good scoring chances. But now the power play. And again, John, we have not gone 2 consecutive scoreless periods at any time in this playoff.
Vancouver 0 for 3 on the power play in this game. 3 of 14 in the series. It's Morrison, Drukin and Bertuzzi up front. Back on the line, Jovanovski. That shot, rebound, in front, and Bertuzzi can't stuff it by Waugh. Near side for Drukin. Works it down low to Morrison. Here's Olin on the line. To Morrison. A shot! And that hits something maybe Reinprecht, and it goes into the crowd.
Blake and Waugh having a conversation afterwards. It's one of the things that is so interesting now to watch. The positioning. It used to be when you killed a penalty, you get in your little box. You know, you get 4 guys who would form that box, and they'd sort of, one guy would move out, or one other guy. Now, as one guy moves, the other 3 adjust. If they're going to pressure one guy, it's not with one guy, it's with 2 guys, with some puck support in behind, and there's conversation and talking and strategy going on all the time.
There's Drury and Podine up front to kill it off. The Canucks power play during the regular season, 13th overall, just over 17%. And they went 6 for 28 against the Avalanche in 5 games. And Drury goes ahead with it and gets it out of the zone. And Harold Drukin back for Vancouver. Scoreless so far in the series. Drukin, one of 13 Canucks playing in their first ever playoff series. Olin's pass, that's blocked by Bork. And it goes to Rob Blake now for Bork.
Bork not only read that pass, intercepted it, but he snapped the pass to Drury.
Here's Jovanovski, charges to the corner. Now Morrison, out high to Oland. No shot is there. Blake, a great job to converge on him. Now Bertuzzi back of the net. Swept away by Blake. Here's Bertuzzi again to Morrison. Wants to make a play back for Olin across to Jovanovski. Into Morrison. Lets it go! Saved by Waugh! And Blake clears the rebound off the boards. And ahead to Hayduk. 1 man back. Hayduk on Jovanovski. The shot and a save by Cloutier. Here comes Bertuzzi. 35 to go. Oh, and Blake. Now Forsberg charges in. One-on-one, a drive, glove save. And a dandy by Cloutier. Here's Sakic to Forsberg and Leclerc. Can't get a shot. Now DeVries a drive. And Cloutier is down. And now Berehowski dumps Forsberg after the whistle. And he'll get called.
That is as good an action going both ways as you're going to see. Coming down the one way, Bertuzzi almost got everything he'd ever want in a hit handed right to him. Blake missed by an eyelash. If this had been a pop-up in baseball, it would have been the highest pop-up of all time. He just missed. This is a play before. This is the action in front. It's Patrick Waugh again. Bertuzzi in on top of him. Here's Forsberg going in. Great save right there.
Now Forsberg was bumped, I think, by Oland. And Cloutier was knocked into the goal. And then Berehowski, after the whistle, gave Forsberg a shot. But as you can see, he was bumped. No, it was his fellow countryman, Daniel Sedin, that knocked him into his own goaltender.
And then afterwards, he just got a little carried away. One of those needless ones that you don't want. But, John, did you see Blake coming?
I saw the near collision. That may have been an explosion had they come together.
Oh, my word. Right across the blue line. It was. Blake was reading it. Berehowski was coming down the right board. Here it comes. Here it comes. Watch him come across. Just misses. Berehowski saw him just at the last second.
Well, Berehowski goes off. That's 16:03. 4-on-4, and then the Avalanche will get their third power play. What action here in the late stages of the second period. No score. Here's Clown. Hit his own man with it. And Skula darts back. Foot is out of the box of the Avalanche on their third power play.
Huge kill for the Canucks. They've done it.
Sakic into the zone. Trying to make a move on Olin, who did a good job. Now Skula with it on the line. Skula wrists one to the corner. Sakic controls it. Now knocked away by Olin. A heck of a play by Olin, and Morrison out of his own zone. Berehowski a cross-checking minor. And that's why the Avalanche on the power play. 60 seconds left in the advantage. Skula, his pass off Sakic. And the Canucks put it off the boards. Back to the neutral zone. Rob Blake right back in for Forsberg. He slows things down in the corner. Now Forsberg gets it back. Here's Sakic trying to make a play to Forsberg. In the circle. Over to Sakic. And it was tipped away. And he's wrapped up by Jovanovski. Forsberg pushes Jovanovski down. And the Avalanche get the puck. Drury right back in front. Here's Drury. A great move. He scores! Oh! A little head fake, and what a goal! Mr. Bingo has done it again, and the Avalanche lead 1-0.
What a play! There, again, one of those ones, John, the puck went in the corner. Jovanovski, it looks like he's got the play under control. Great job on Sakic, but Forsberg knocks him off the puck, and watch Mr. Drury take over. I mean, that was just one move, just froze four guys. No one came even close to him. Now here's the play. Sakic's down, Jovanovski, watch Forsberg. Comes in, down he goes. And now the puck goes to Drury. And all four guys with one move stand still, and Kuche beats him. What a... Certainly not like the goal in game one, because that was a breakaway. The same kind of move. Forehand to the backhand, and by Kuche.
Drury gets his fourth of the series, and the Avalanche break the scoreless tie at 17:30, an unassisted goal. And it's 1-0. On that sequence, you had the courage of Sakic to go in the corner, the brute strength of Jovanovski, and then Forsberg, and then the great hockey play by Drury.
That was a playoff corner right there. That was everything the playoffs are all about. You go in, you take your lumps. You give them, you take them. And then somebody makes a play. And in this case, it was 37, Chris Drury.
And those two don't get a point, but they're very happy that Drury got the goal. Drury's fourth unassisted on the power play.
Avalanche's first goal of the game in this series.
And it comes on their 22nd shot. And the puck comes out of the zone and fired back in offside. Peter, I asked Eric Messier this morning, what happened? Why did Bertuzzi go after you like he did? I said, was there an ongoing battle? He said, no, nothing at all night long. He said, I didn't even know it was Bertuzzi who came up behind me, so he was as surprised as anybody that he did what he did, and he canceled out a Vancouver power play, and it may have been the most costly after the whistle penalty that's been taken in this series.
And it was what happened was Messier, everybody in the building saw that Reinprecht had taken a penalty. The penalty was going to be called. The puck was lying there. He needed to touch it so that the play would end. He reached out with his hand, touched it, the whistle blew, and that's when Bertuzzi landed on him.
2 minutes left in the second period. The Avalanche with a 1-0 lead. Trying to sweep the Canucks out of the playoffs. And the puck goes out of play. And we get a whistle. Let's head downstairs and check in again with Mark Stout.
Howdy, John. Just to continue on the Eric Messier story, I said to him at practice the other day, I said, well, how was it sleeping after you got the 4 stitches in your nose? And he said, well, you'll have to ask my roomie, John Clem, whether or not I snored. I got no complaints, so I'm assuming that everything went all right. Then I said, do you know how many times you've broken your nose? And he gave me this look of like, please, don't ask me that question. They tried to set it once or twice, but now it's all scar tissue. But, yeah, that was his roommate, John Clem, and Clem had no complaints, so I guess he wasn't snoring. Back to you guys.
Yeah, there's the play right there. There's no question that Bertuzzi gave a little extra, and he's a strong man, and bounced his head off the ice. That's where the cut comes from.
And Bob Hartley in his press conference yesterday was intimating that he felt that Bertuzzi perhaps could have been suspended. Bertuzzi roughed up Dominic Roussel of the Oilers 10 days ago, but the league, Peter, come playoff time, they look at every single play of every game immediately. So you don't have to send in a tape or anything like that or call the NHL. There's what's called a war room in Toronto where they have hockey people, their hockey organization, looking at all the games at once. And if an incident happens, the people in charge are looking at the incident right away.
As the game is being broadcast right now, back in Toronto, there's a group of guys that are going over every game, every high sticking, every incident, anything that could be looked at is logged. And Colin Campbell can call instantly.
And Brian Burke used to have his job.
Brian Burke used to be the director of hockey operations, have that job for the National Hockey League. But Colin Campbell can say, okay, what about the high stick in New Jersey? What about the hit Stevens on Francis in Carolina? And they bang, they send it right to him.
You remember the goal the Avalanche had scored against them in Los Angeles in late March? That wasn't a goal.
Yep.
Mike Murphy, who's covering the series for the league, he was driving from Detroit to Toronto. They called him on his cell phone in the car and said, hey, we got a situation right here in the game right now. Forsberg on the wraparound in front. And Cloutier got across. Forsberg near that line. Now to Drury. Good pass to Foot. Backhander, and that goes wide. Neiman in back of the goal. Avs coming on here. They've got one looking for more. Forsberg again. Charges in front. A shot. And that was tipped wide. Bork kept it in. 1:10 to go in the period. The Avalanche can smell blood now. Here's Forsberg getting stronger as this series goes on. Trying to get away from Henrik Sedin. A minute to go in the period. Now Foot trying to pinch in. He does. Messier gets the puck for the Avs. Out of the corner. Had a shot blocked, and the Canucks break it up. What a shift by the Forsberg line. And finally, the Avalanche have to go all the way back in their own zone. Bork's pass blocked by Klatt. And he was spun around by Bork and lifted off the boards by Messier. Podine was after it, and he was cut down.
When you spend as much time in your own zone, working as hard as Vancouver is, you're going to get tired. It is tough to play that kind of hockey down low for as long as they're being forced to in this game.
Now Reinprecht for the Avalanche with Tanguay and Podine. Podine a check, knocked him down, and Reinprecht gets the puck in front of Podine. Has an opening and a save by Cloutier. Big time save there. And 5 seconds left in the period. This will be an icing call against Vancouver as the Avalanche nearly got that second one by Cloutier.
The shots now really starting to go top-heavy Avalanche. 25-11 so far in this game, 14-4. And I'm not sure this didn't hit Tanguay. Tanguay gets blocked up front, hits something in front. No, the pad. John, the pad of Cloutier. All the screens in front, and the puck just hit off his pads as he go down.
What a shift by Podine and Messier and Reinprecht. 1.7 seconds left in the second period. Sean Podine, we've talked a lot about Bertuzzi and Foot, but Podine has played as physical a series as anybody. Time for one quick shot if the Avalanche can get the faceoff, and Blake trying to go ahead with it, and it was knocked away. The Avalanche absolutely dominated the second period, out shooting the Canucks 14-4.
Cloutier was strong. That's the reason why it's only 1-0. But the Avalanche, Chris Drury, what a goal on the power play for the Avalanche.
The only goal by Drury at 17:30. And the Avalanche are 20 minutes away from sweeping the Vancouver Canucks. 1-0 Avs after 2.
Who makes the best minivan? Obviously, the press has already decided. Dodge Grand Caravan, the best minivan ever. See, compare, drive, Caravan. Now with a $1,500 cash allowance or low 0.9 financing.
Your First Bank, you're the home team. Now, what does that mean?
Better customer service.
Why?
We're locally owned.
We care.
Say you want to open a new account.
We give you lots of options.
Including free checking for a year.
How about a loan?
We give you an answer right here, right now.
So the customers know you're there for them, right?
Right.
In person, over the phone, or online.
All right, let's get to work.
First Bank, Colorado Bank for
A beer is only as good as the ingredients used to brew it. That's why Budweiser uses only the finest all-natural ingredients, hand-selected to deliver a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you won't find in any other beer at any price.
This was for you. And you, and you, and you. This was for you.
You want to go? I feel a little out of place. Yeah.
Make room at the table, boys, because women are getting things they need, like iron, zinc, protein, and some B vitamins from the food they love. Beef. It's what's for dinner tonight. Brought to you by the Colorado Beef Council.
Yellowstone National Park is more than a natural wonder. It's an American treasure. Join Conoco and support a new Old Faithful Visitor Education Center for today's and future generations. Make a donation to the Yellowstone Park Foundation by calling 406-586-6303.
Let's fish. Let's do it.
The Lexus RX 300. Unlike other sport utility vehicles, it's the first luxury SUV that doesn't ride like a truck.
We're out of here.
Yeah.
What?
The RX 300 at Cooney Lexus and Stevenson Lexus.
Avalanche get a power play goal from Chris Drury to take a 1-0 lead after a couple of periods. Mark Stout outside the Avs dressing room with Greg DeVries. Guys are taking your lumps, but hanging in there, and you get the goal. That's the way the games have gone, huh?
Yeah, we're playing a smart road game. Getting the puck deep, trying to get as many shots as we can, and crashing it for rebound.
Why the second period seemed to kind of go your way, even there more towards the end? Is it that hunger knowing you're up?
I think so. I think a bunch of veterans in here, a lot of guys that have a lot of experience. They know you never want to give the other team momentum. So, I mean, we're here tonight to get the win, and so far everything's going according to plan.
Hey, Greg, talk about what you've been able to do this season. Now, you had a great season, but this time last year, you weren't even dressing in that first round against Phoenix, and then you dressed because Ray Bourque got injured, and now you're getting your minutes in every game.
Yeah, it's a lot more exciting this year. I mean, it's tough when you're sitting out, not playing, but this year I'm getting in and getting to get in the play and stuff, and it's a lot of fun playing.
Are your parents going to be able to make any games? I know they got to Detroit.
My dad's 0 for 4 the last 4 games he's been at, so we're going to try and keep him away.
Thanks, Steve. There's Greg DeVries. We'll come back and take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. 1-0 for the Avs after a couple of periods.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate competitor. Go G-O-H-E, etc., etc. Light years ahead of ya. They chose me instead of ya. Corny cats is better to give praise to the greatest. Silence all challengers. LL ambidextrous switch the left hand on ya. Leave it on the floor. Pure raw stamina. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I said my game's hardcore. Leave it on the floor. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey, hey. I said my game's hardcore. Leave it on the floor.
No time to log on? With AT&T high-speed cable internet service, you're always connected, so there's no dialing up. And streaming videos download in seconds. Nothing moves you like AT&T at home. Go cable, go faster. Call for free basic installation and free first month of service.
You know how they get like that? They get like that by eating the meat.
Whopper says carnivores prefer flame-broiled. In the land of burgers, the flame-broiled Whopper is king.
Never has so much power gone into a Duracell Ultra. With new M3 technology, it's the most powerful alkaline battery in the world.
Skill is a part of it. So is experience and strength. But when you get down to it, what really sets one competitor apart from another is talent. You either have it or you don't. In Barron's annual ranking of fund managers, Oppenheimer Funds has more portfolio managers in the top 50 than any other company. Talent. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
We're back in Vancouver. The Avalanche with a 1-0 lead after a couple of periods. Chris Drury on the power play late in the second period. Mark Stout here ringside. You know, the Avalanche have really had their way in the second period in this series. They had 30 shots on goal in the first 3 games of the second period, and now they had 14. Ton of shots on goal in the second period for the Avs, and they're going to go into the third with a little hunger, like Greg DeVries said, to kind of close this out and get some time off. Let's take a look now at the Chevy Stanley Cup update. Here's your playoff situation in the East. Pittsburgh and Washington. Washington wins tonight on the road, and they send that back home tied at 2. Buffalo won last night in overtime. They'll play Philly again on the road Thursday night. Toronto done. The Leafs, Ottawa done. The Leafs with the sweep, 4 games to none. Even people in Vancouver here not fond of the Maple Leafs. And Carolina clinging to some hope as they get a win over New Jersey tonight. The Devils still lead it 3-1. Big game there for Rod Brindamore. All right, in the West, Detroit already with a 3-0 lead over the LA Kings. Aaron Miller and Adam Deadmarsh not getting it done tonight. The Wings can take a 3-1 lead going home. Edmonton and Dallas resume on Thursday night. That series is 2-2. That's been a hard-fought battle. And the same goes for the Sharks and the Blues. And they'll play Thursday night in St. Louis. Hopefully the Avs will find out who they'll be able to play pretty soon. There you see the shots on goal and the score. Avs up a goal after 2 periods. We'll be back.
The Roman aqueducts have stood here since 145 BC, able to endure centuries because of an engineering marvel, the arch. A curved structure so incredibly strong that even when great pressure is applied to it, it holds its shape. A design with such strength and integrity that to this day, modern man has yet to improve upon it.
Oven toasting brings out the taste.
Quiznos subs are toasted for mouth-watering flavors. Try our smoked turkey sub with roasted red pepper sauce on rosemary Parmesan bread. Quiznos.
Oven toasted tastes better.
Hi, I'm Drew Goodman. Are you tired of fighting the public for tee times? Do you need a place where the family can enjoy an afternoon on a championship golf course that you can show off to your guests? That's what you would desire in a private club, and I know just the place. Plum Creek Golf and Country Club, the Players Club in Castle Rock. And now is the time, because there will be an initiation fee increase on May 1st. Give them a call, 303-688-2612 for private membership information. Plum Creek Golf and Country Club.
It's not where you come from. It's where you're going. It's not what you drive. It's what drives you. It's not what's on you. It's what's in you. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Your perfect automobile. Imagine it. The seats cool you when you're hot and warm you when you're cold. The air you breathe is possibly the purest anywhere. The sounds you hear are some of the finest in the world. The all-new Lexus LS 430. You don't have to imagine anymore. See Stevenson Lexus and Cooney Lexus now.
Plays first time in the series that the Avalanche have the lead. And going into the third period, first time they've scored the first goal. Chris Drury gets the goal, his fourth of this series. Good work by Peter Forsberg and Joe Sakic on that goal. It was unassisted. Forsberg scores the game winner in Game 3. The Avalanche this season 19-1-0-2 when Forsberg scores a goal. Maybe he'll be able to get a goal here in the third period. We go cross ice and upstairs now again to John Kelly and Peter McNabb.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. The Avalanche poured 14 shots on goal in that second period, 3 by Chris Drury alone. And Peter, Vancouver's really fortunate they're not down by more than 1.
And as good as the Avalanche were offensively, you know, because a lot of times we've seen them just take over a game and be in their zone. I mean, the other team's zone, just pound the shots on it in their own defensive zone. When Vancouver did have the puck, they controlled the play. They kept them to the outside. They didn't allow them to have too many scoring chances. So in both ends, offensively and defensively, very strong period for Colorado.
But credit Dan Cloutier in goal tonight for Vancouver with a very strong second period.
The Avalanche had a couple chances, especially in the power plays that they were given in that second period. But Cloutier found a way with some good saves and just a little bit of luck on a couple of plays to keep the Avalanche at bay. At the other end, Vancouver, a couple of chances for sure in that one particular play. His line has been good with Peterson and Cook in tonight's game, maybe the best for the Vancouver Canucks. Patrick was focused and did a good job.
And the goal by Chris Drury out of the corner, just a brilliant move.
I mean, it seemed to look like he just makes one move. There's Sakic and Jovanovski, and then Forsberg takes over, the puck scoots up the boards, and then Drury with one move not only beats the 2 defensemen but the goaltender, and suddenly he just slips it into a wide open net. What a move by Chris Drury.
And the Volvo numbers after 40 minutes of play.
The only one you have to look at right there is a power play, and it came on a bad penalty with Berehowski in the penalty box and cross-checking Peter Forsberg after the play. So that, you know, those are the kind of mistakes Vancouver just cannot afford.
And they did the same thing in game number 3. They took a penalty after the whistle, the one on Bertuzzi, which led to the Forsberg goal.
Yeah, so they've been a little bit undisciplined, but on the other side of it, it's 1-0 going into the third period. They're going to throw everything at the Avalanche here in this fourth game. Try to send it back to Colorado for the Avalanche. You know, at some point, Vancouver's going to have to open it up. They don't get an early goal, and the Avalanche will get their chances.
Well, the only goal tonight here in Game 4, a thing of beauty. Mr. Big Goal, Chris Drury, has the Avs up 1-0, poised to sweep Vancouver.
Cross country.
Hey, you. Yeah, I miss you too. It's been a while.
Mom. No, I'll be home soon.
Verizon Wireless. Our network covers more towns, more cities, and more places than anybody else's in the country. So you know that just about anywhere your business takes you, you'll stay connected to your biggest fans. Verizon Wireless. Simple, affordable, national. Join in.
Sorry, Nippy. You'll give in before I do.
Have a bud for my friend? Yeah, sure.
Who are these guys? They're a team. The difference between finishing first or last. At Oppenheimer Funds, every member of our global team brings their own expertise. Working together, they've helped the Oppenheimer Global Fund beat 96% of its competition over the past 5 years. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
At Stevenson, we offer our customers 24-hour roadside assistance, although technically it's only good on every new and used vehicle we sell.
You sure you bought this from us? Yeah. I've got a great deal on it used.
24-hour roadside assistance, another specialty service that makes Stevenson where to buy.
Well, Joe, what kind of mileage do you get on this thing anyway?
Colorado Avalanche hockey is brought to you by your Greater Denver Ford dealers. First Bank, the Colorado bank for you. And by your Front Range Volkswagen dealers. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. This young man is no passenger. He is a guy who likes to take front and center stage when the game is on the line. He did it in college hockey. He did it in the College Baseball World Series. He's done it in the pros. What more can you say about Chris Drury and his big goals?
I don't think he's been a passenger in a street hockey game. You know, he has just been the guy to make the big shot at the right time. I mean, that was a great move. When he started out of the corner, it looked like, okay, maybe he's going to get a shot on net. But how he worked that from having the puck in the corner to having a wide open net was just a thing of beauty.
And by the way, they have now added assists on goal to both Sakic and Forsberg on the goal at 17:30. So both Sakic and Forsberg have points in every game.
Yeah, they both have 4-game point streaks going now for the Avalanche. And that's what we keep talking about, the idea that if you get production from Sakic and Forsberg consistently through a playoff series, the other club is going to be in trouble.
So the Avalanche with a 1-0 lead as we get set for period 3. This marks the second game of the series that Bob Hartley's club has taken a lead into the third. They had a 4-3 lead in game 1 and won 5-4.
And you'd almost think for Vancouver.
As Henrik Sedin works in now to Klatt. In front, you were about to say?
That they're going to have to almost double their shots on goal here in this third period. 1, was playing well. And 2, they need some pressure. They had 11 shots in the first 2 periods. They're going to have to get at least 10 or 11 to get this game squared.
Or get some kind of power play break. You never know. Jovanovski from his own line, and Waugh gloves it down and leaves it for Skula. He'll reverse it to Rob Blake. Off the boards to Haydu. Tanguay's open in left wing, and it's off his skate. And a delayed offside. The Canucks get it out. Here is Brashear. And he puts it in behind the Avalanche goal. And around it goes to Haydu. In the regular season, Vancouver was 4-21-4-3 when trailing after 40 minutes. So they have come from behind.
One of the things you mentioned, John, the idea that 13 of these guys are playing their first ever playoff series. At some point, you're going to think that they're going to start to press and do things that they shouldn't do. There's way too much time to start pressing early.
Here's a shot by Foot. Rejected by Kluche. Podine a drive, and he put that one high off the glass. And Druken back to center ice. His pass in for Morrison. Fresh shot at Waugh. No problem there. Steered it to the corner. Messier knocked down, but it's picked up by Podine, and Messier gets it out. Berehowski back for the Canucks. Now for Harold Druken. He goes high with it, wide of Waugh. And both clubs make changes on the go, and Bourque has it for the Avalanche. Turned over at center. Now Bourque again, and he puts it out of play right at the Avalanche players bench. Well, Stanley Cup playoff fever heating up, and the Pepsi Center Trading Company is the best place in town to get your official Avalanche playoff merchandise. The Pepsi Center Trading Company is open 10 to 5 weekdays and 10 to 3 on Saturday.
The Avalanche hoping to join the Toronto Maple Leafs as clubs that have moved into the second round. What an upset. 5 wins for Ottawa in 5 games during the regular season. Toronto sweeps them at 4. The last one tonight, 3-1 in Toronto. Air Canada Center. That place must have been just nuts.
Here's Oland. A drive, and he put that one wide. Ottawa scored 3 goals in the 4-game sweep. That's remarkable. Ottawa has a very good offensive team. Then Trent Klatt gets it off the boards. Here's Daniel Sedin with his brother Henrik. The late man Oland. Right in. Blocked by Drury. Now Jovanovski a drive, and he put that one wide. Drury's doing it all tonight, and Drury's hurt.
You bet he is.
I think he got it on the arm. And DeVries clears it ahead. Oland kept it in. Now Henrik Sedin. Cycles one to brother Daniel. Drury was there to break it up. And in front of his own goal. Now he whacks it off the boards, and he'll go off on a line change. From center ice. Hammered in by Jovanovski. Right in front, and Skula was there to tip it away. And it's icing called on Vancouver, and Drury getting some attention. It looked like he blocked that shot with the right arm.
Ullin, who has a great shot, is set up nicely by Sedin on a beautiful pass into the middle. And you can see the Vancouver defenseman already starting to jump into the play. And John, you know, when you watch this, you think, oh, they've got all kinds of protection. Remember back to St. Louis, Chris Pronger blocking a pass out of the zone, just hit him in the wrong spot and broke his forearm. So, you know, it's one of those plays. Hits the wrong spot, you're in trouble.
Well, Pat Carnes came over to Drury behind the Avalanche bench, but Drury shoot him away. I'm all right. 3 minutes gone, third period. Avalanche up by 1. Here comes Sopel in front for Cook, and he never got there. And then he tripped up Rob Blake, who is coming back. Now Barron back in the Canucks zone ahead for Cook. Sakic back in his own zone for the Avalanche. Here's Blake for Haydu. And he missed the pass. Barron for Vancouver.
3 shifts in a row. The defenseman for Vancouver very aggressive into the play.
Here's Bertuzzi. He bumps Waugh in the corner. And is tied up by Milan Haydu. Bertuzzi can't get in front. Blake was right there to slow him up. Kept in by the Canucks. Here's Bertuzzi. Glove down by Tanguay. And ahead, Reinprecht was breaking up the ice, but it was over his stick. And icing called on the Avalanche. What a start to this third period.
John, has Stefan Yell returned for the Avalanche? Have you seen him on a shift or on the bench? Remember, he took a puck in the face in that second period.
I don't recall calling his name in his third, and we'll pan the bench.
No.
And we don't see him. Maybe Mark Stout knows something.
Yeah, John, it appears as if Stefan Yell is not going to return to this game. He did get stitched up in the dressing room, but as you said, he's not back on the bench. And the word from the Avs PR staff is he will not be back because of what you saw that happened in the second period. He's been off the ice for quite a bit of time, and the update now is that he is not going to return to this game. It's not out of the question, but it doesn't look good. Back upstairs.
Well, for the Avalanche, of course, you just hope that he is going to be okay. But on the hockey side of it, Stefan Yell, excellent defensively, good face-off, man. Someone else is going to have to pick it up.
Now the puck to center right. Puck slowed up by Allen. Yeah, Yell's the kind of guy you want in your lineup down the stretch, nursing a 1-goal lead.
Last 10 minutes, he's as good as anybody.
Here's Messi. Oh, hammered by Allen. Great open ice hit, and now Morrison is injured. Brendan Morrison is in some pain. There was Messi who got hit, and Peter, maybe when he went backwards, he hit Morrison. I don't know.
Yep, that's exactly right, John. Morrison's coming up into the play. Allen smokes Messier, who falls back into Morrison. And these are the ones, John, two things happening. You're just guessing, but knees and ankles. Because you're coming back into the play, and you're just not ready for what the play's about. Brendan Morrison, one of the real bright stars of the future for this hockey club. You got to hope he's okay.
Of course, Morrison scored that huge goal against Colorado College in 1996 to right in the back of the leg.
Yeah.
Gave the Wolverines an NCAA championship.
I mean, it was just a very simple play. Good play by Allen to hit. And Morrison goes down.
Morrison scored the goal in overtime to beat Colorado College. Peter, I asked him the other day, what did you do at the puck? He said he got the puck and he gave it to his coach, Red Berenson, former NHL player. So Red has the puck, the historic puck.
Former St. Louis Blues star. Once scored 6 goals, Red Berenson, in a single game in the National Hockey League.
So a tough blow for the Canucks, losing Morrison. The Avalanche with a 1-goal lead, trying to win the series in 4. Daniel Sedin. And his soft backhander knocked away by Waugh. Up the wing, and Heino takes the hit and gets it out. And now Heino in a wrestling match with Daniel Sedin, well behind the play. And he's offside. That is something the Avalanche have done very well in this series. Keep their composure. Vancouver, not by a lot, but by a bit. They've taken a few bad penalties, and the Avalanche have kept their composure.
But for the Avalanche, you know, I mean, this comes with leadership, John. We talked about the fact that the Avalanche had almost 1,000 more games of experience than the National Hockey League. I mean, there's so much energy that's going on out there. You're trying to control it, but you're also trying to get involved. And there's that fine line of getting involved, of not doing the right thing, of, you know, and when you've got guys like Foote and Bourque talking to you all the time, saying, hey, no, we don't need this, we need this. It helps you learn.
Now the Canucks dump the puck in. Skula for the Avalanche. Quickly across to Blake. Intercepted at center ice and dealt back in by Sopel. The only goal tonight by Chris Drury on the power play. Rebound in front. And Peterson put it high. Oh, what a chance there. Maybe their best scoring chance since the first period. And Blake fires it out. Glove down by Barron. And hacked down the ice by Skula. Both teams making changes. Sopel. Grissom right back in. The Avalanche have to race back, and Ray Bourque up to Messier and cleared away again. Allen, number 5 for the Canucks. Now to Drugan. In for Bertuzzi, and Bourque and Foote closed on him. And this is when you will probably see a lot of Foote and Bourque together down the stretch. Now Drugan deals into the zone. And was knocked down. Adam Foote trying to clear it. Gets it high on the boards. Here's Foote again. And the Avalanche to center with Reinprecht. Now for Bourque. And he had that one go off the end of his stick wide of the goal. And Drake Berehowski for the Canucks. 13:25 to go in regulation time. Allen off the boards. Forsberg blocks it. Now Henrik Sedin hit by Drury. Forsberg again. Takes a smack on the far side, but Nieminen Shoots it in there.
7 minutes gone in this period. One shot for both clubs so far.
Here's Daniel Sedin. DeVries stood up well. And Drury trying to chip it down the boards. Now followed up by Forsberg. Forsberg to Drury. He gets into the Vancouver line. And this is the kind of period the Avalanche want to play. With a one-goal lead, they want a defensive struggle. Now Matt Cook. His shot in a glove, saved by Watt. No problem there, as he saw it all the way. Avs up by 1.
Amazing what a little quality fuel can do. At Conoco, you're good to go.
Oven toasting brings out the taste.
Quiznos subs are toasted for mouth-watering flavors. Try our smoked turkey sub with roasted red pepper sauce on rosemary Parmesan bread. Quiznos. Oven toasted tastes better.
Who makes the best minivan? At Dodge, we make them great and grand. We make them front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. We make them with traction control, remote control, even seating, and cargo control. In fact, Dodge Caravan gives you more choices than any other minivan, including the only choice that's under $19,000. See, compare, drive. Dodge Caravan.
Well, time to look at what's on tap, brought to you by Bud Light. If a Game 5 is necessary, we'll have it for you on UPN 20, beginning at 8 o'clock Mountain Time this Saturday. That is if the Canucks win.
That is no illusion. The actual Hanson brothers are here. They're filming Slapshot 2. Here in Vancouver.
My all-time favorite movie, Slapshot.
If you ever want to see, I'm sure Bull Durham was a great story about baseball in the minor leagues. Slapshot is a great story about hockey in the minors, and it was actually written, I understand, by the sister of a minor league hockey player, because he sat down with one day with a bunch of his friends and just put together all the stories that they had heard over the years, and it came up with the movie Slapshot.
You know, I bet you could compose Slapshot 3 with all the stories you have from your days as a Canuck and a Bruin.
No.
You told me some good ones over the years.
Well, so many of those visiting the libraries and, you know, very... Oh, Lordy.
Apparently the film crew is here tonight filming the Hanson brothers, Peter, and they will use some of the footage from tonight's game, at least of the brothers, in the movie. So we're watching movie history here tonight.
I'm not sure movie history.
Here comes Hajduk Sakic ahead of the pack. He's got a break. Fires it wide. Oh, Sakic with a rocket. And he just missed. Now Hajduk for the Avalanche. And it's dumped back in offside as the Avalanche get a scoring chance after a defensive zone faceoff.
But what a play by Hinote as he's coming up the ice to wait until one gets the blue line and then thread it onto the stick. Milan Hajduk right here. Up, waits, and a perfect pass. Hajduk.
Nice play. Did Kluche get his pad on this? I don't know.
It didn't sound like it. It just sounded like it just rocketed wide.
Chris Drury with the only goal tonight. In the last couple of years, Drury and Hajduk have combined, of their 24 goals, 12 have been game-winning goals between Hajduk and Drury. It might be 13 after tonight. Now Bork at his own line ahead. Bertuzzi is there, can't get it in. Scooped ahead by Berehowski. Ruutu is in there, hasn't played a lot tonight. The rookie out of Finland, and the Avalanche chop it back down the ice. And they make a quick change on the fly. Drukin back to center. And Ruutu deals it. In behind Walford. Goes up the near side for Drury. And the Canucks are right there, and they put it back in offside. Shots this period 3-0 for Vancouver.
You know, Joe, when you break down these two games in Vancouver, who's been a guy that quietly has had a tremendous impact on this game? One, he's played well, as you look at his numbers tonight. But Asenza goes down with a knee injury. Who shot? Messier's. Bertuzzi takes a penalty on who? Messier. Morrison goes down. Who gets knocked into him? Messier. So two players on just very, he didn't hit them. He just sort of, he was part of injuries to two key guys and had a penalty, a power play negated with his head getting pounded into the ice.
So for a man who has never scored a playoff goal, Eric Messier's had a big factor in this game, in this series. Martin Skula for the Avalanche. Around the boards, Daniel Sedin was there. Now Blake tries the other wall. Jovanovski on the line. Long wrist shot. Saved by Watt. Tipped up high off the back of the goal. Canucks can't center. Daniel Sedin had it. Chipped away. Drury up the near side. Now Drury gloves it down, and here he comes with Forsberg. 2-on-1. Forsberg and Drury. Forsberg waits. A shot. He scores! Forsberg got his own rebound. And the Avalanche take a 2-0 lead.
Now this one, I don't know how it went in, because it looked like Forsberg may have waited too long.
And fanned on a shot?
Yeah, and it fanned on his shot, but somehow grabbed the rebound after it hit Kluche. They're going upstairs to see something. Now maybe it did bounce off him, because it seemed to have the weirdest sort of reaction. No, he hit it fair and square. You're going to see the play. Vancouver's hoping for some sort of break. He did fan on it, but he then chipped it up over.
The play is under review.
No, there's nothing to review.
And that was on.
Yeah,
it wasn't kicked in. Well, they just announced it's under review. That's why I said that.
Yeah, exactly. They went upstairs because I think what they're saying is, did Forsberg kick it? That's what Vancouver's hoping. They're gonna point to center ice. That is certainly a goal.
No question. Forsberg gets his second goal of the series at 9-11 on a 2-on-1 break. And Peter, there's what you were talking about. Vancouver very aggressive with the defenseman pinched in, and it was only a matter of time before the Avalanche would get an odd man rush.
And it happens right here. Now it sort of was coming up the ice a little bit slowly. Forsberg looked like he was waiting to move the puck to Drury, but once he did take the shot, you can't blame Kluche, because it was a funny shot. It just sort of rolled off the stick, and then suddenly he grabbed the rebound.
Now the Avs pressuring again. Tanguay in front. Sakic trips. He scores! Joe Sakic! And Super Joe may have just put a nail in the coffin of the Vancouver Canucks as the Avalanche score two quick ones and take a 3-0 lead. Sakic gets his fourth of the series.
There was, John, you could almost feel it, not just the crowd, but for the Canucks. That goal by Forsberg was one of those ones where, okay, we're struggling to get goals. We're struggling to get shots, actually, in this period, in this game. Now we're down by 2. And remember we talked about that 2-goal lead? The Avalanche's first 2-goal lead in this series. You knew that something was going to happen. And Brian Burke's club, who has worked so hard now, in a huge hole.
2 goals in 17 seconds. And suddenly the Avalanche with a 3-0 lead. Now Bodine trying to get it in front. They score again! Messier! Messier! Is that appropriate? His first ever playoff goal! And the Avalanche with a 4-0 lead.
the feeling at some point the dam would break. Vancouver did everything they could to stop that from happening. Kluche could not be faulted, but it happened now, and the Avalanche, Forsberg goal 2-on-1. Somebody wide open in front. Sack, bad man to have wide open. Scores to make it 3-0. And now this third line, John, who has played so well, finally a little bit of reward. And Messier, who we just finished talking about, all the work that he's put in, how influential he's been so far in this series, picks up his first ever playoff goal. And the Avalanche, with 10-11 to go, are up by 4.
3 goals in 38 seconds. We'll have to go to the record book, but I would guess that's an Avalanche playoff record, Peter.
I'm trying to think back. The only game that I can think back to, but maybe that Florida game where they got 8 goals, you know, in the 8-1 game, but it doesn't seem to me that I can remember anything like this for the Avalanche.
It is 4-0. Daniel Sedin down the boards. And the Avalanche come up with it. Drury flies back to center. 3-on-2 break. Drury lets it go, and he put that one high over the net. The second goal scored by Forsberg at 9:11 from Drury and Blake. At 9:28, Sakic is 4th from Tanguay and Hayduk, and then Messier gets it from Podine and Reinprecht. 3 goals in 38 seconds. And it's 4-0, and the Avalanche 9 minutes away from a sweep of the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver trying to keep it in. Sopel does. And shot down the ice by Clem. This will be an icing call against the Avalanche.
And I guarantee you right now, those referees got their eyes out, watching very closely, because the Vancouver Canucks play with a lot of heart, a lot of fire, but this is a tough moment. Holy cow! Somebody just threw a firecracker.
Oh, the Avalanche. Speaking of firecrackers, what an explosion!
Napkins.
The Whopper says, any food left unattended is community property.
It's so raw.
In the land of burgers, the flame-broiled Whopper is king.
Do your legs hurt from running around in my dreams all night?
Ew.
The Ford Super Cab with 4 full-size doors and an unsurpassed payload, it's sure to excite you. And now, with $1,500 cash back plus low 3.9 financing, it's easier than ever to pick one up.
Your eyes are as blue as the ocean, and baby, I'm lost at sea.
Check one out at your Rocky Mountain Ford store.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate competitor. Go G-O-H-E, etc., etc. Light years ahead of ya. They chose me instead of ya. Corny cats is better to give praise to the greatest. Silence all challengers. LL ambidextrous. Switch the left hand on ya. Leave it on the floor. Pure, raw stamina. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I said my game's hardcore. Leave it on the floor. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey, hey. I said my game's hardcore. Leave it on the floor.
The Avalanche with a 4-0 lead, 8:42 to go in regulation time. What an explosion by the Avalanche in this third period. As Schaefer gets the puck to center ice. Trying to work it by Blake, and he would have none of that. And it's rejected back to center. Now Barron for Cook. Angles it in on Waugh, who has been perfect in tonight's game, stopping all 16 Vancouver shots. And this is an icing call.
That was Ray Bork with that firecracker that went off before the break. Boy, oh boy, John, you look at the numbers. For this hockey club, Messi with Messier's goal, fastest 3 goals in the playoffs, demolished the old record back in '96 against Chicago.
When Kaminsky, Wolanin, and Sakic scored in a span of 2:03.
But for the Canucks, a desperate hockey club, the shots on goal. 7-6-5 so far in this hockey game as the Avalanche. John, I mean, you got to know that that's defensive core is going to start being so strong for the Avalanche.
As Peterson gets the puck to center ice. And Brashear, a bouncer. Waugh makes the save. And Ruutu racing after the rebound. He clips Waugh, and that will draw a crowd.
Now, John, I think it's safe to start talking about the next round for the Avalanche, barring some sort of miracle here in this third period. The Avalanche sit and wait, and if some of these series go along as they look like they're going to go along, the Avalanche won't have any clue about who they're going to play until they're all done, which could be Monday or Wednesday of next week. If it's Wednesday, they probably don't start until Friday at the earliest. So the Avalanche have bought themselves at least 1 week before they play their first game, and probably 10 days.
Dallas, Edmonton tied 2-2. St. Louis, San Jose 2-2. Detroit leads late in LA 3-1. Trying to go up 3-1 in that series. Here is Ray Bourque. On for Nieminen. And he'll play it down the ice, and Jovanovski goes back. And he's hooked a bit, and that's called. Nieminen will get a penalty. And Nieminen now gets the puck. And if Vancouver ever needed a power play and a break, Mark Crawford's club just got one.
No, really, Nieminen will not be happy with this one. This was a careless penalty. But again, you know, you got to learn. The thing about it in these situations, you feel bad, and you've got to feel bad. It's all part of the learning process. You got to feel bad. If you say, it's no big deal, it is a big deal. He's just given the Vancouver Canucks just a little bit of life. And I'm saying, you're not saying that, you know, you can't be aggressive. But these are not the kind of penalties you take, because as you go along, there are going to be nights when it's 2-1. And you can't be making the same mistake. So everything is learning. Everything's a process in these playoffs. And, you know, somebody said, it's been an easy series for the Avalanche. And then people will look at it and say, it's been an easy series for the Avalanche. But you know what they've done best of all in this series, John? They've proven to themselves that they can stick through games, maybe not play their best, but win. When this Avalanche club is on its game and playing great, no one's going to beat it. I mean, you know, it's going to be very difficult. But when you're not playing well, those nights are going to happen too. And the Avalanche with Drury and Forsberg and Hayduk, they have those guys, Sakic, that can score those goals in games they may not deserve to win.
Vancouver on the power play, a shot by Jovanovski, and a save by Waugh. You know, Peter, some people made a big deal of the fact before the series began that Bob Hartley took over from Mark Crawford. He didn't take his job. Mark Crawford resigned. Bob Hartley had a very good relationship with Mark Crawford. When the Avalanche won the Cup in '96, Hartley's Hershey Bears finished the playoffs early. Bob came up and joined the Avalanche for Game 6 of their second-round series against Chicago. And he was there the rest of the way. And he was in on all the meetings, all the planning sessions, all the practices. Bob Hartley worked very closely with Mark Crawford,
helping him with the players that brought up from Hershey, with the practices that they had in case they needed somebody.
Here's Daniel Sedin to Henrik, out high to Jovanovski, near side Olin. He's got a shot, lets it go, and Waugh makes the save, and Klett on the rebound was stopped. Now Jovanovski again, fires it, saved by Waugh. Olin, open net, he scores! And Vancouver has someone.
You bet they do, John. You bet they do. You know, it's just, We talked about a young team, 6:33. I'll keep my big mouth shut. Games are never over till they're over.
Olin's second goal, second power play goal of the series. He scored the first goal of the series. And it just snuck through the legs of Waugh.
Bob Hartley just got through talking to Neiman and on the bench for about half a minute. You know, those are, again, coach is coach. You coach right to the end. You got something to say, you're going to say it.
Now Peterson in. And he's spun around by Skoll. The puck back to center. And the Canucks have it. The score 4-1 for the Avalanche. Here's Barron. Now Podine shovels it back around his own goal. Barron gets it again. But Blake cuts it off, and the Avalanche clear it out of danger.
They pulled their goalie, John.
Wow, 5:50 left, and Mark Crawford has pulled his goalie. Well, that's remarkable, but I guess why not? Jovanovski. He works in. Blake is there, trying to clear it now for Reinprecht. And off the boards, and cleared. You know what Patrick Waugh's thinking right now? Goal.
You bet he is.
Well, he leaves it for Blake. To the corner, Reinprecht. Vancouver 6 attackers. Avs break it up. Podine gets it out. The Avalanche leading by 3, and Vancouver going with 6 attackers. And this will be an icing call. And Bork hustles back. And they'll have to put the goaltender Cloutier back in nets for now.
Well, Mark Crawford going for it, giving his team a chance.
Some of the best seats at Pepsi Center could be yours. Club seats at Pepsi Center provide a great view of your Colorado Avalanche and Denver Nuggets in action. And the club seats at Pepsi Center offer exclusive access to the best in Pepsi Center's live concerts and events. Club level seating includes seat-side wait service, access to reservations at the beautiful Ridgeline restaurant, and many other exciting benefits. For information on club seat availability, call 303-405-1250 today.
Hey man, check it out.
Hey, how'd you do that? Do what?
Trick out the door. The redesigned 3-door coupe from Saturn. It just might turn a few heads.
Get 3.9% APR for 60 months on a 2001 Saturn SC1. For restrictions, see your retailer.
You will watch May Movie Madness. One step beyond!
When I snap my fingers, you will wake up and watch May Movie Madness all month long on UPN 20.
5:06 to play in regulation time. The Avalanche with a 4-1 lead, looking to sweep the Vancouver Canucks. Cloutier is back in nets for now, but you would expect Crawford to pull him when they get the puck down the ice. Peter, I remember a long time ago in a late regular season game, Montreal pulled their goaltender with, 10 minutes to go, trying to get a lot of goals because the tiebreaker that year was going down to goals scored. But I don't remember in a playoff game a goaltender getting pulled with 5 minutes to go.
No, I really don't. But, you know, it's a situation that they are shorthanded. They don't. Now Morrison, their third leading scorer, is out to go with Castles and Naslund, their first and second. So they just got to go for it.
Sakic gets it out. And it's played back in offside. Before the series began, Naslund and Castles suffered injuries. LaChance went down in game 1. And now Morrison. So the Canucks losing the war of attrition and losing the series. Tonight's game summary brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
Well, the Avalanche were in a tremendous battle. Nothing in Drury. Just makes the play. And then here in the third period, 3 goals in less than 40 seconds. Forsberg, Sakic, and finally the third line with Messier, Reinprecht, and Podine connect on one. Very fitting for how hard and how well they've worked in this series.
And the Avalanche with those 3 goals in 38 seconds, shattering the club record. So right now Forsberg stands to get the winning goal. Forsberg got his first ever playoff overtime winner in Game 3. He said the last time he had a playoff goal in overtime was with his Modo team in 1994 in the Swedish Elite League. Here's a shot by Bertuzzi. And that was blocked by Waugh. Avs try to clear, and they do. Jovanovski back.
They have not quit. There's another good scoring chance right there for Vancouver.
Here's Waugh trying to clear it up the middle. He does. Reinprecht. Sakic ahead of the pack with an empty net. Sakic missed the open goal. Under 4 minutes to go. Here's Olin back for Jovanovski. He'll dump it in. Waugh. He wants to shoot it. And it was knocked down by Peterson in front. And Waugh covers. As Patrick went for the empty net. And it nearly cost him.
Wouldn't that have been something? Another Patrick Waugh in his 200th game in the playoffs. It will not be his 200th decision. He will have 198 decisions, but it is his 200th game right there. Peterson comes through and Patrick freezes it. Yo.
Martin Brodeur did score a goal in the playoffs a few years ago with the Devils. And Patrick's trying to do the same. 3:41 to play. Fouché is still off. Tanguay scoops it down the ice. And Sopel now for Drukin. Here's Barron across. Sopel up the middle. Drukin to the line, but Bork is right there. And the play is offside with 3:20 left in regulation time. Well, tickets for round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs will go on sale Saturday at 11 a.m. These will be available by phone or the internet only. To place a phone order, you can call 303-830-8497 or 719-520-9090. Or for the internet, log on to www.ticketmaster.com. That's this Saturday beginning at 11 a.m.
John, I'm just watching the other game, L.A. Did L.A. just tie this up at 3? They did. L.A. down 3-0 has tied their game against the Detroit Red Wings at 3, hoping to tie the series 2-2.
Which would leave 3 of the 4 Western series tied at 2 games apiece. As Matthew Schneider, I believe, has just scored a huge goal. But the Avalanche with a 4-1 lead. And this club will pick up its second 4-game sweep in their history. Last year they had a chance to do it to Phoenix, but had to go 5. But for Bob Hartley, Peter, as a player, what does it mean to get out of a series in 4 and have the other clubs go 6 or 7?
It used to mean, well, that you used to the idea that, oh boy, going to get a little rusty. Now they practice so well. They take such good care of themselves, and you know how long and tiring the playoffs are. This is a great break for the Avalanche. Bork has to get, if there's anything left over with Bork's back, and it certainly doesn't look that there has been, you know, it'll give it that extra time. Everything that the Avalanche would want as far as just sort of getting things healthy will take care of itself in that week.
Here's an empty net for Tanguay. He scores! Tanguay! And that'll put the final nail in the coffin as Tanguay gets his first of the playoffs. And the Avalanche take a 5-1 lead.
The big guys for the Avalanche have had some great games, no question. But I'll tell you, I like the way Tanguay really fought and persevered through this series. It was a physically demanding series. The Vancouver Canucks knew it, knew how they had to play. They did not alter their game plan at all at any time. And the Avalanche just played through it.
So Tanguay gets an empty net goal at 17:25.
What a series for Sakic, though. Was he on fire?
He has a goal and 1 assist tonight. 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points. Not quite as good as his series in '96 against Vancouver when he had 7 goals. But Peter, with any luck at all, he got 7 goals in this series.
Oh, this is as unlucky as you can get and only get 4 goals for Sakic. I mean, he was hitting post after post.
So it's 5-1. Peter, you're right. We have the Los Angeles-Detroit game on our monitor up here, and the Kings tied the game with about a minute to go.
Yeah.
And it's 3-3 with seconds left in regulation time. Detroit, LA.
And if all of a sudden LA was to win, we're looking at...
Let's get an update from that game from the Staples Center.
It was 3-0 for the Kings. And they bounce one in. Stumple gets lucky. It's in. That makes it 3-2. And then Smolinski, number 21.
Brian Smolinski
ties it.
Getting back to the Avs' last goal, Tanguay into the empty net from Drury and Reinprecht. So Drury with a goal and 2 assists in the game, and Reinprecht with a couple of assists. And Cloutier is back in goal. So that goal by Tanguay snuffs out any would-be miracle comeback that Vancouver had cooking.
And we'll be talking, obviously, an awful lot about the Avalanche, but full marks to the Vancouver Canucks. 5 years. It's been a long 5 years. They make it back to the playoff. Mark Crawford's club suffered 2 injuries at the end that made it close to impossible to really perform well in the playoffs. They lost key guys. Had they had Castles and Naslund, they wouldn't have finished in 8th place. They would have been a 5-6 seed in the Western Conference. So this is a club that's on the rise. They've got good young stars. They play well as a team. They've shown a lot of heart. They've got the fans of Vancouver back involved in hockey again. And so it's been a great year for the Vancouver Canuck organization.
And in this series, they have lost LaChance, Morrison, and Essenza to injury. So, as you said, it's virtually impossible to win without 4 or 5 of your top players when you're a decided underdog to begin with. School into center ice, and he'll dump it in. But for the Avalanche, they found a way to win every game. They've gotten better as this series has gone on. And now they get set for the second round. Puck comes in front, and a whistle.
And what I liked about this series, it was almost, when you look at it now, it's almost going to be a perfect series for the Avalanche, barring any long-term problems with Stefan Yell. They came out of it healthy. There's a minute and 40, knock on wood, knock on wood. And you played some tough games as a group. So you developed the playoff mentality. Those were tough games. The first 3 games and the first 2.5 periods of this game were tough hockey games that they stuck through. They played hard, and they found a way to win.
Here's a shot by Sopel. That's rejected. Sopel gets it again. Now for Barron. On goal, and a save by Waugh. 90 seconds left in this series. And the fans, over 18,000 on their feet here. Here comes Podine up the middle. And he just dumps one to the corner. Sopel back for Vancouver. Off the glass it goes. Center ice to Schaefer. And Waugh well out of the goal. Canucks center, a minute to go. And you can just tell the fans appreciate the great effort their undermanned club has given against the President's Trophy winning Colorado Avalanche.
It was as good a series as you could have. It's one that's going to go in 4 games. Every game just entertaining as you could have, as you could possibly imagine.
Now Allen gets it for Vancouver. Here's Drury, although some dummies are throwing litter on the ice as we speak. You can see some of the spots of debris on the ice. 17 seconds left. As DeVries gets it out. That's going to do it. 10 seconds. They count it down here. And the Colorado Avalanche have swept the Vancouver Canucks in 4 straight games.
You can go through an awful lot of things. Congratulations to Bob Hartley. Step 1 of 4 gigantic steps. Congratulations to Mark Crawford and his club and how well they played. And for the Avalanche, you can even look at one more thing. That was clearly Patrick Waugh's best game so far of the playoffs.
He came that close to getting his 16th career playoff shutout, which would have been a new NHL record. But he'll have more chances at that.
And then one of those traditions that, you know, if you're in the sport of hockey, it's always made you feel really proud. The players, after a series like this, get together and shake hands. Not necessarily a lot of love in certain situations, but certainly respect.
What a series for Sakic, for all the big boys on Colorado. Forsberg, Drury on defense. Blake was huge. Foot coming back. Borkoff injury, and Waugh, his best game of the series. It's all over. The Avalanche sweep the Canucks. 5-1 the final.